Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chaotic Neutral Games. I'm Simon, your storyteller for today, as we join Hermit, Scorm, Helen, and Corinne for the last game in our Halloweek specials. Thank you for joining us for the other games, and also thank you to our DMs, GMs, whatever, Rodrigo, Helen, and Dave for stepping forward and doing games throughout Halloweek. Also for the many players that came and joined us for the various chaos that we managed to sow along the way. Now, we're going to be doing a final game, and this is where, being that it's Halloween, I'm going to come out of my own comfort zone. I'm going to be running a game today where I am going to be aiming for horror. I am looking to shock, to disturb, and to otherwise make people feel a little bit helpless and try to involve them in the spirit of horror. Normally this is something that I will do around a table, but we're going to try and see if it translates onto the stream. First of all, I'm just going to make sure that our sound is working. I know that mine is. Can you lovely people say something?
Hello.
There we go.
Good
That's
evening.
working. So that's a few of the normal things that go wrong out of the way. And the reason why I need to make sure that these are out of the way is that normally it's Hermit and Scorn that tell me that they're going wrong, and they're on the other side of the screen. So
we got 10 viewers. I assume at least half of those are real. So
okay, yep. And Joseph has just said that he can hear us all.
Joseph, thank you for being here.
Competency in the chat. Yay!
For the first time.
Okay.
Competency, that's the word.
Yeah,
Yes.
Helen,
competency.
be nice.
there's competence because we're not there.
Oh.
So, we're going to be playing a horror game, which means that at any point, any of you can die. Yes, we have the same rules as Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer or anything like that. At any point, you could end up viewers yourselves because do the wrong thing and you could indeed die. I gave everybody their character sheets last night when I sent them this. A blank sheet of paper. All will be revealed as we start to play the game. It is the Genesis system, however, which is something we've been using for some time now, and I love it. So if you don't know about the symbols and things like that, we will explain along the way. Thankfully, again, because I know that Hermit and Scorm has watched so many of our games, I know that they're fairly familiar with it. Helen, of course, is familiar with it from Excelsior, and Corinne is familiar with it from Star Wars. Albeit that the symbols are different to Star Wars, so you might get a bit confused on it.
I'm like, what is it?
It's
I can hover over the little thing
you
symbols.
can hover
and
over
tell
it,
me
it
what
tells
they
you
are.
everything. Yeah. So, one of the main reasons why I've given you guys a blank character sheet is to immerse you a little bit more so that you're not looking at the character sheet and the mechanism. Whenever you want to do something, I will give you the rules. The second part is, other than your name, your gender, your age, and your facial description, you know nothing about your characters because you have amnesia. But we will get into that as we go into Escape from the Farm. Pain. They say that's the first thing that you feel and the last thing that you feel. The one thing that is guaranteed as a sensation in anybody's life. As you lie there oblivious, feeling only darkness, the first thing to come to you is pain. A specific pattern of pain, but a general ache around your body. An ache from what? Starvation? Fear deep in your gut? You feel stiff. You feel old. Your senses start coming back to you one at a time, and the first to come back is your hearing. At first, a strange cacophony that you dismiss as your adult senses being trying to be interpreted by your mind. Later on, you'll find that what you're hearing is in fact what's going on. Strange, snorting, guttural, violent sounds in the distance. And a moan. A slow, plaintive moan that you're not entirely sure came from yourself. Other senses return. A smell of filth, shit, ammonia, something sour and disgusting upon your lips. Your face pressed into something soft, wet, cold. And as you try to move, there's this slight suction, this slop, as you pull your face away from whatever the slop is that's stuck to your face. And as your hands skid out from underneath you, you realise it's part of the floor. You try to open your eyes and you realise they're already open. A strange, mottled, marbled effect of light starts to come back into your vision, and your blurred environment starts to focus in. You can see a source of light, and yet you can't seem to focus on it. And even when you do eventually focus on it, you realise that this is a soft, dull light that's reflected off the surface of the small pit that you're in darkness. The movement nearby suggests that you're not on your own, and you immediately have a start as something reaches over to you and touches you. For somebody else.
All of us?
For somebody else. You reach out and touch someone else, and both of you make a start. You're both slipping, sliding, slopping in this filth. And you know that with every move, you're covering yourself once again. Any clean parts of yourself just suddenly smeared with this filth that will linger, the smell. You're hurt. Let's find out how hurt each of you are. So I'm going to bring up the dice roller. And I would like each of you in turn to hit the critical button. So if you go into special rolls on your dice roller screen, there is a button that says critical. And when I tell you, I want each of you to hit it. So Hermit, let's start with you. Okay. You got away lightly. A little bit dazed, you inhaled some of this gunge, you're hacking and coughing, and you and the others can hear you now, retching, gagging as some of this slop pours out of your mouth. You start emetically reaching your stomach, gripping as you stop yourself from spilling your entire contents of your stomach, and you realise as you try here that your stomach is empty. It's like you haven't ate in fucking months. Helen, give me a critical. At the brink. Shit. 91. It's close to death. This is going to be with you basically for the rest of the game. Any significant action that you make will bring you one step closer to complete collapse. You have been out the longest out of all four of you, and it feels like every action you take is going to be your last. Your muscles ache. Your heart pounds in your ears and in your throat. Your breath is slow and shallow. Score. Give me the crit. For you, you landed on one of your arms, and it bent and wrenched in a horrible angle. You wonder what kind of impact could have done this. You instinctively look up, flapping onto your back, this filthy floor, having no purchase, no traction, and you see above you is a rusted chute the types that you see on the sides of buildings, and old, made of metal with a slight lip on the end to kind of propel anything that comes down it forward. And that's how you are here in this filth. The only thing that broke your fall was the filth, was this horrible gunge that you're in. And you've wrenched your arm because you hit the floor at a weird angle, ragdolling right across the floor. So yeah, your brawn and agility checks difficulties are all up by 1. Anything to do with your arms. I will allow that any brawn or agility checks that only use your legs, I will allow, because the agonizing wound has to be localized. Finally, Corinne.
Yeah.
Headringer. Guess where you landed?
My head.
You lie on your back, the room's spinning, and you can see above you that there's some sort of shoring, some sort of badly made concrete structure keeping the walls from caving in. You get the sudden realization you're underground. Looking at the chute, how substantial it is. I mean, if they were just going to drop you at the height of that chute, they would just have a hole, right? The chute kind of suggests that you're maybe 2, 3 floors underground. Who knows more? One thing's for sure. Looking at the slime coalescing on the chute, you ain't going back up. So, I would like you, in turn, to describe your faces and your age, and I'll supply your body. So let's start with Helen.
I am 53 years old. I have quite a sun-weathered face, so quite a few deep-set wrinkles, lots of fine lines, would be sort of freckles, possibly, but sun markings rather than the nice freckles, and quite long, thin, cheeks quite prominent, almost gaunt, one would say, possibly gaunter now, considering our presence, and just sort of silvery grey hair, which would have been reasonably long at one point.
Okay. So your body is buff. If it wasn't for the fact that you were this strong, you think you probably wouldn't have survived the abuse, the starvation, whatever happened to you. Your total number of wounds is 15. The bad news, considering you're critical, is that the total amount of strain you have is 9. So please adjust yourself on the roller. Hermit, who are you?
I am a 31-year-old female. Bit of brown half-moon hair. And a bit of a round face. Wrinkles are beginning to show. That's about it.
Okay. So for you, you are a different type of physique, but a good physique. You're wiry, you're lithe, where Ruby is kind of hench, you are more a Hugh Jackman type body, that kind of wiry muscle. When you manage to hit, you were lucky enough, as I say, you've just scooped up some goo in your mouth. You are light. You are dense. You're sporty. Maybe a sprinter. You can feel even now, the kind of pumped muscles. Even though you know you've been out for maybe a day or two. You're not sure. But, yeah, out of you and Ruby, it's hard to tell who's the more physical out of the two of you. Certainly in stark contrast to the other two that have landed beside you. Scorm. Oh, sorry, I need to give you your hit points. So you are even Stevens, Hermit. You've got 12 wounds and 12 strain.
Me?
Yeah. 12 and 12, but you have it.
Yeah. You said score.
Sorry, Hermit is 12 and 12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Scorm. Describe yourself.
A 27-year-old man, very dark around the eyes, looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. Skin basically on bone, very close. You can almost see the skeleton underneath. A very average, short worker-style hair, but mismatching the very big 5 o'clock shadow that's almost turning into a full beard.
This certainly matches with the rest of you. You do notice that they would notice that your beard and all the rest of it, there seems to be a well-presentedness to you. You even though that a lot of it is kind of scragged up a little bit, there's a groomed element to you. There's you've got good skin tone. If you weren't covered in shit, you'd probably be quite, I don't know, charismatic, I guess. You have a somewhat timeless comeliness to you. However, as I say, you've landed pretty badly and your arm is almost flopping by the side of you. You can move it, but it hurts to move it so bad. Your wounds are 11 and your strain is 12. And finally, Corinne.
Which was a really bad time to pop a sweet. Yes. Long blonde hair, kind of wavy, completely ruined by the shit, aforementioned shit. Kind of softer, heart-shaped face, and kind of brown eyes.
Okay. So you, Holly, are quite slight, but there's a kind of petite healthiness to you. Maybe you run or do yoga or something like that. You keep yourself fit, but you don't keep yourself buff. You have 10 wounds and 14 strain. Now, it's a bit hard to see the difference in your clothes, covered as you are, but as you go along, you will notice a few differences in the clothing. Helen, your clothing is rough, utilitarian. You've got kind of cargo pants on. And you've got a kind of not like an Aran wool jumper, but it's quite a substantial jumper. It's frayed at the arms, at the cuffs. So the cuffs are kind of shredded a little bit to the point where it's fraying, and so too at the belt. Your shoes are actually steel toe capped. Hermit, you have what is just jeans, t-shirt, nice pair of not Doc Marten boots, almost like Army Navy boots. So they kind of go up to the ankle. Seem to be very sensible. But yeah, the trousers are kind of free moving. The kind of jeans are free moving, so they're not like skinny jeans that you would find on maybe a fashionista. They're kind of middle of the road. You can kind of run in them, climb in them, that kind of thing. They are kind of they're proper Levi's, but they aren't like kind of designer Levi's. There's no designer rip or any of that shit. It seems to be like run-of-the-mill Levi's that have shown a little bit of wear, but mostly well looked after. Scorm. Your clothes are actually very, very nice. They, you can see that you had, up until the shit covering it, you had a nice shirt on, tie, your belt matches your shoes. So, you know, you've got brown leather shoes, brown leather belts, and business trousers, actual business trousers, not even chinos. These are proper like pinstripe trousers. And then finally, for Eucharin, you probably have the worst combination of it all. You have comfortable, smart but comfortable shoes. You're wearing stockings, a pencil skirt, a blouse, and it's still on you a kind of like you've kind of got a pencil skirt suit on, so you've got like a women's blazer on, and around your neck, still hanging around your neck but broken, are a pair of reading glasses.
My strain was 14, right, Simon?
Your strain is 14. You've got the highest strain. Yeah.
Yeah, and wounds at 10.
Yeah. I should also point out that everyone here has a soak of 2, apart from Helen, who has a soak of 3, because she be hench.
It's my... Oh, there we go.
Okay. The scene in front of you develops as you see 2 squat, bulbous-looking humanoid figures. I say humanoid because what you see in front of you beggars belief to a certain extent. These 2, let's call them humans for now, are naked to the waist. They've got large distended bellies that come over the belt line. They seem to have these dark, wet, dirty trousers that are held together by some sort of, I don't know, belt maybe. Certainly cinches at the waist. They've got these big, horrible boots that look like they've just been dredged out of the river. You can see these thick, calloused, split hands. The calluses on their hands are obviously splitting because the back of the hand is almost entirely callous. Also going down the arm and to the elbow to the point where it's almost calcified at the elbow. And atop this naked, you're assuming like male form. There's some major kind of moobs going on here, and that the hair spilling out of the chest as well. I say this distended stomach that's just wobbling as they're fighting, pushing at each other with these thick, callous hands. Atop the body is a nearly hairless head. That whatever hair is there is thin, it's matted, it's stuck, slick with sweat to the back of the head, but the front of the face is actually covered in a mask. You've got 2 large, almost what's the word, cataracty glass eye lenses that you can't see through. They're almost mirrored, which is why I say they're cataract. You can't see through them, but clearly they can see, at least in some way. And they bulge like 2 almost cartoonish eyes in front of them. You can almost see like the eyes moving behind them, and they are magnified to a silly level where it just looks like the irises are just floating around in these large magnifying glass type portals on the front of the mask. The mask, you're not sure whether it's kind of like a painted metal or something like that. It seems very solid, and you can see that there are some straps that hold it to the face, but also these strange metal edges that almost look like it's been stapled to the face. You can see that there's no way to open the mask in the front, but instead a set of tubes are dangling down in front of it. Some of them have an end like a kind of ball with little metal ball with little slices in it, maybe some sort of breathing filter or something like that, and other ones are just dangling a little further down with strange little catches, little connectors that presumably connect to something, maybe to feed them or to do what, you don't know. They're both speaking to each other in these strange, guttural, snorting, growling, clearly a language that the way it's going back and forth and being traded between each other. At this point, you can't really do anything about it. You're still too aching. You're just about able to pull your head out of the filth to see this exchange. One of them is clearly leading the argument, trying to explain something to the other. The other one is protesting by their body language, disagreeing with whatever is being proposed to them. All of a sudden it gets more heated and it gets to its climax, and suddenly the one that was proposing, trying to convince, instead picks up a large hook. The hook about 2 foot long, a T-section at the end, and at the end of the hook a sharpened point. They pick it up and bury it into the neck of the one that's been rebutting them. This squealing, snorting, gurgling sound coming from inside the mask, muted and yet still so loud. This creature's bellowing at the top of its lungs. You can see the chest shaking with effort to try to breathe at this point with the pain. The hook comes out and lands again and again and again. Dark, brackish blood starts to come out of the body as the creature starts to convulse. And then, in what you can only hope was a blow of mercy, the hook goes right in top of the skull. The hook gets pulled at an angle. There's a cracking sound from the skull, and one of the creatures falls down into the filth right in front of you. As your image starts to sharpen, you can see that they were on a small gantry, maybe 10 centimeters above the filth. This metallic mesh that you find in some factories that allows things to drip through. And you can see, indeed, that things have been dripping through this mesh. You can see this, maybe, what is it? Moss, slime, seaweedy kind of stuff just coming from it. So even this mesh isn't clean. It falls into the pit in front of you. And as your vision sharpens, you look around to see if there's some other form of exit, and you realise there isn't. This is effectively an oubliette with a one way out, where the creature holding the hook is. But you do see that around you are various items. Handbags, a backpack, a couple of coats. Clearly other people have been here and abandoned possessions. The figure with the hook gestures in front of you, making your heart jump into your mouth as the hook that they just used to kill this quite strong, quite substantial beast face down in front of you. They point the hook at you and go... And with that, they throw the hook on the floor and run away. Your scene starts. What are you going to do?
I look at the other people and try to understand. Does anyone else head hurt?
Not really, but it's certainly not pleasant.
Who are you people? Oh God! I can't feel my arm. Where?
I don't know. I don't know. I know my name is Holly. Oh, do I know that, Simon?
Yeah, you know your name.
Yeah.
And
No,
I've just
my name
realised
is...
I didn't update the title, so Escape from the Farm has just been updated.
Yeah.
I know I'm Gwendolyn. Call me Gwen.
Hello, Gwen.
I'm Owen.
What
Owen.
Yes.
was that?
I don't know. What is that? I point at the corpse of the creature.
I really don't want to find out.
Oh, this is something you don't find in England. Oh, well, we get on a plane. What land has creatures like this? I want home.
I think we all want to be home.
Corinne, you pointed out the creature.
Yeah.
Roll me 1 yellow, 2 green,
Oh.
and 2 purple.
2 purple. Okay. 2 advantages.
Looking at it, well, for one thing, you know it's definitely dead. A quick look, as far as you can tell, human? As far as you can tell. You can tell that the mask on this person's face is fixed permanently. Those are skull staples. You're not entirely sure how you know this, but that's what they use to fix people's skulls. And they used it to attach this mask to this guy's face. You do get, I'll give you on the other advantage, this is a male.
Okay. Male? Possibly human?
It didn't look very human.
The mask is attached to its skull. The staples, that's the same they use to like fix people's skulls. Why do I know that? Do I know things about medicine? Maybe I should have a look at that guy's arm.
Well, first things first. How much can all of us move?
I'm pretty alright. I just got a headache. A big ass headache. Other than that, I'm good.
Ruby would like to put a big effort into trying to not get up, but like propel herself forward.
It's slow, but you can do it without gaining strain.
Okay.
It's gingerly, I would probably describe it as. And as you do that, you hear... And then it cuts off.
What in the world was that?
It came from the direction that the other creature ran.
Something wrong here. This was the place where they harvest organs. We'll never see our families again. I start looking through people's handbags. I'm trying to find like some. If say like people go out for like a night out, they may take some painkillers or aspirins or something. I'm just looking through the handbag specifically.
Absolutely. Let's have a look. Let's see what you would be rolling for this. Let's see. You are that. So I would want you to do a 2 green, and you can set the difficulty yourself.
Considering I'm going through crap, I would say a lot of difficulty. I'm panicked and I have no idea really what I'm looking for other than maybe this comes in a prescription box or bottle.
This is the usual thing of Genesis, and that is the higher the risk, the higher the reward.
Okay, so how much do I need to add for the risk? For the difficulty.
Your choice. You risk either not getting it done, or getting it done and only gaining a little.
I'm risking not getting it done. My dad is just in a panic. There's no logic to it.
Okay, go for it.
Do I
Give
just
me your
roll 2 greens?
two greens and as many purples as you want, up to 5. So it has to be at least 1 purple, but it can be a maximum of 5. Your choice.
Okay. Boop.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
You know nothing.
Wow.
When you're panicking, you don't think me through.
Okay. I'm actually gonna give you 1 strain, Erwin, as you look through 1 bag and you find in there, this bag is a mother's bag, as in a new mother's bag. Inside there are nappies, diapers, depending where you come from. There is a very stale, very clotted bottle of baby's milk. You can see that there are wipes. That might be useful. There's some Sudocrem, which is normally good for wounds and things. But you're there like, was there a baby down here? No, they didn't. Surely they didn't bring not a baby. They didn't bring a baby down here. And that's... You can feel the gorge rising in your throat as you can imagine a child in this area.
Yeah, as I just take in my single hand probably the wipes and Sudafed just wrapped up and just literally scamper out of the pit. I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Okay, you scamper out of the pit into the gantry, yeah?
Yep, just don't want to be there anymore. Just that revelation.
You get onto the gantry, and the gantry has a number of things that starts to disturb you further. You can see that there are hooks on the walls. The hooks are kind of like industrial carabiners, a bit rusted, but basically you can put hook something on there and then bring a latch down and screw it on. There are chains which end in kind of manacles, and you do see that there are black bags with drawstrings that you can only think in context would be for putting over somebody's head and keeping them oblivious as to what's going on. You do see in going to the left, there's what seems to be a well. And around the well is this brown substance, like a bright brown. It's dark, but it's like a rich brown coloured substance. And scattered around it are 2 more of these T-shaped hooks, and sickeningly a few butcher's knives and a couple of meat cleavers. They're big. Like maybe meat cleavers you'd find in an abattoir.
In the moment, like I'd grab a black bag off of the thing and just put in the baby wipes and the Sudafed as a bag. Attach it to my belt in a very...
The first 2 you get hold of smell of vomit. The third one seems less bad. As you look to the right, because looking to your left, it's the dead end that just ends in that strange well. As you look to the right, you can see a thin corridor that goes off with this gantry material, and there are steel doors going the length of it. 4 on the left, 4 on the right, and then beyond that, there seems to be, I don't know, maybe the start of some stairs. It's too far away to see. The thing that you do notice, however, is there's the creature that murdered the other creature is kneeling down 3/4 of the length to the corridor, with their body, so they're on their knees, and their body is pressed perfectly against the wall. That thing that did the screaming is 3/4 of the corridor away from you, you lucky duck.
Just lower my voice, like, "Everyone, get out of the slime."
I want
Please.
to have a look at Ruby and see if I can help her in any way, as she seems to be struggling a
Okay.
lot.
Okay. So give me a. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say what it is, but give me. It's from what you're asking. It's probably medical. Give me a yellow, 2 green, 4 purple.
4 purple. Is it not 3 for? Oh no, because of my
Head ringer.
handringer. Anything I can do that would help? Can I ask Jesper? Not Jesper. Gwen. Can I ask Gwen to? Can I ask Gwen to help me? Give me a hand.
You can.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me
Gwen.
see how helpful Gwen would be. Let's see what comes out of your brain, Gwen. You get 1 boost dice, 1 blue.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
It's fair enough. At least I got 4 versus 4 dice. Cool. Let's roll this. Failure, but an advantage.
Okay. Even though you failed, what I'm going to say is that you failed to see what you can do to help Ruby. But with the advantage, I will actually give you some information. Ruby is severely malnourished and dehydrated, and is, by the looks of it, under the suffering from some sort of drug, the effects of some sort of drug.
Right. I don't think I can do anything for you at the moment. We need to find you some food, which I don't think this is the place for food. And you're coming off of some drug? Can I identify what kind of drug, looking in your eyes and stuff?
A powerful one.
Powerful one. Possibly morphine. Maybe. I'm just...
Is she the only one?
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
I'm asking Holly.
What I can tell, you guys seem to be more alert.
Okay. Maybe there's some medicine here in some of the backpacks or something.
Yes.
At least
Let me
something we
have
can
a
take along. Yeah, I'll take a look as well.
Okay. So, Hermit, give me a 2 green and the difficulty of your choice.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh. But
very good.
4 threats. It makes me scared.
What in particular were you looking for?
Anything useful for survival.
Okay. I'll give that you look at the nappies, diapers, and you realize that those can be used as wound dressings. Yeah. They are individually packaged. Yeah. And
Yes, sterile.
so they are as near as sterile as you can get. So you grab a few of those. That could be used to stem certain wounds. So it would be kind of like an improvised dressing. The other thing that you do find is you do find a selection of snacks and sweets from various things. A packet of mints in a handbag. A half-drunken Gatorade, but it doesn't seem to be rank at all. I mean, there's so many preservatives in Gatorade, it seems to have lasted. And so that there's a bit of drink there. You try to look around to see if there's any kind of weapon, and you can't find it in the pit. But as soon as you get to where Scorm is, you'll be like, oh, there we go, weapons.
No, yes.
I'll give you like a packet of crisps and some chocolate bars and things like that you get from the various bits and pieces. Looking at one of the coats, it is encrusted in filth, but it's a fairly substantial coat. It's like a moleskin coat. It probably wouldn't do any help against the hook, but against certain other slashing weapons or something like that, it may increase the soak of the wearer by 1.
Okay.
But as you're taking these things from what you now presume to be dead people, there's a ghoulish feeling as you take them. And I'm going to give you 1 wound, and I'm going to give you a point of panic, which I will keep hold of.
Okay.
And that is that when you use these things, there's a chance that you'll just flip your shit.
Lovely.
Yes. If Gwen tells me that she found the food, I will ask for it so I can give it to Ruby.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give it and I'll offer the coat as well.
Okay. Who are you giving the coat to?
Ruby, I guess.
Yeah, Ruby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had Ruby a coat.
Ruby, your soak has gone up to 4. And
Okay, before Ruby gets the coat, Ruby, even though Holly has come and like looked at her, all they've seen is Ruby just carry on propelling herself forward, or completely almost ignoring them, just keeps going until she gets to that hook that was thrown down. And as soon as she gets there, she just grabs onto it.
okay.
Ooh.
So the hook for you is a damage 5 weapon.
Ooh.
It has a crit of 2,
Ooh, that's really good.
and it has a pierce of 1. Which, as I've said, will go through the 1 soak of the. It'll ignore the 1 soak of the hook of the coat.
So they can't get the coat on me at the moment. I'm just all right
Yeah.
until.
No, I
once
come
I've
up
got
to
the
you with
hook,
some of the food and be like, here, eat some of this.
and like just like try and just like swing at you and just get out of the way.
I got
Get
food. I got food.
Get away. Get away.
I have food.
Get away.
I know you're scared. We all
Yes.
are very scared.
Away. And I try and lash out with the hook towards her.
Ooh.
I'm not within striking distance. I'm like away from, because I know. I'm assuming I'm some sort of nurse, and I probably have some tickling in my brain of knowing panic patients and keeping like away from striking distance until they calm down.
You can make that assumption. And Helen's character is big.
Yeah.
She's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, like almost a Valkyrie build.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably a good idea. And when she's swinging that hook around, she's not doing it with much proficiency, but my God, is she doing it with force.
Yeah.
So you haven't applied any of the food or the coat to Ruby yet. I don't even know if she's introduced herself as Ruby. No, she hasn't. So Helen's character then. And if you want, you can attempt to. Well, you did just try to placate Ruby, and so let's have a roll off between you two. So,
I don't think I have.
Corinne, I would like you to roll and I'll do it as one roll. So what I'll do is I'll reverse Helen's stat into a difficulty.
Yeah.
So I would like you to roll me 1 yellow.
Oh.
1 green.
Mhm.
Just checking what that is. So you struggle with intelligence and cunning, don't you? So nope, you're fine.
Yep.
And the difficulty, based on Helen's stats, will be... Okay, 1.
Okay. Okay. I will give that a roll then. 1 success and 2 advantages.
Okay. Hang on a sec. What happens to Helen's character sheet? Sort that out. Thankfully, she hasn't used any of those stats. There we go. Right, so yes, you, Helen, Ruby is feeling like this person is genuine in what she's trying to do. Corinne Holly has managed to successfully communicate that she is no danger to Ruby, that she's a victim here too.
Okay. So from clutching the hook very tightly, like one hand sort of very slowly extends palm upwards.
I place the chocolate bar and the crisps in her hand.
I pull it in and take a tiniest bite of the chocolate. Very suspicious still though.
Okay. The chocolate's good. Oh my god, it's good. It seems to be exactly what you need. Your stomach lurches a bit as you eat it, but thankfully as it melts in your mouth and slips down nicely, you have a feeling that if you were to try to eat a full meal right now, it would be a really bad idea. But you feel better for it, to the point where you feel like you could finish the chocolate bar, and you're even eyeing up the Gatorade.
I'll restrain myself from finishing the chocolate bar. I'll eat like half of it, even though I'm starving. But I will take a small drink of the Gatorade. I'm going to regret drinking Gatorade, but anyway.
Okay, do me a roll of 3 green and 3 purple.
Great. Ooh.
The Gatorade spoiled.
2 success, 1 threat.
Was it ever fresh?
You feel a bit better. You have a feeling that you'll be a lot more better the more you eat, but to rush it would be probably a bad idea. You feel a bit that the sugar rush of the chocolate is... It makes your heart palpitate for a second. You have to stop and take a breath. That's the threat. But you have a feeling that if you ration the food that you have got, you could probably use it to regain strain at critical points.
I'm gonna just like feel down what I'm wearing and sort of register that I'm in my own clothes.
Feels familiar. Feels right, feels like the type of thing you'd choose. You feel like something's missing on your top half. As soon as you're checking yourself out to that level, you are wearing a sports bra. Whatever information that can give you.
Do I find pockets in my cargo pants?
You do.
Excellent. I will put food and Gatorade. Is the Gatorade in a can or a bottle?
It's in a bottle.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put Gatorade one side, food other. But then keep going forward, going towards where the guy who's just got out of the pit is, that metal area.
Yeah.
But keeping going.
You crawl really close to the killed pigman. Stench from his body, stale sweat, unwashed for weeks.
If I cast a glance over it, do I get anything?
Close, male, hairy, sweaty, dirty, like he shat his pants.
Yeah, I'm moving on.
Okay. You do get to the gantry, and the gantry has got a scaffold pole. And yeah, you use the scaffold pole to right yourself, to get yourself up on your feet. Actually, seeing as you do that, roll me 1 yellow, 1 green, 3 purple.
Let's start with that. Ooh.
Nothing.
One
Nothing.
failure, 1 threat.
Yeah, nothing happens. You're already at 1 threat level worth of shit. You can see that Scorm is looking, or Erwin is looking frantically in both directions. You can see the chains, the manacles, the head bags. You can see the strange-looking, almost terracotta-coloured well, let's call it, hole, and the other hooks, the butcher's knives, and the large meat cleavers. And yes, you can see the other pig man kneeling down and pressing themselves against a wall.
Holding onto the scaffold with my left hand, hook in the right hand, I sort of gesture wildly at Erwin.
What is it?
What is going on here?
I think we've been kidnapped into some organ harvesting building. We need to arm
Did you do
ourselves.
this? Did you do this?
I just point to my arm and be like, why would I do this? I cannot do anything other than use a single arm. How would I do that to someone as large as you? Just give me a moment. I look at the weapon, like type of, well, knives and stuff, and I look, because I know that she's got the hook, I look for something that I think would be ideal for the other people, including me with one arm.
Okay.
I try and look for what I believe is best for people.
Right, with one arm, you think the only real thing that you could wield with any accuracy would be the butcher's knife. There's a couple of them. Butcher's knife, so for you that is damage 3 and crit 4. As for everybody else, you can see that Gwen, she's quite fit, quite agile. She could easily take the cleaver or the hook. And Holly, probably another knife. She's got both arms functioning, but she's kind of slight.
I grab another knife and a butcher, but I first of all put my knife in my belt, like tucking it between the belt and the thing.
Yep.
And just one-armed try to drag what I need over to the edge of the, like, there's one over there. Everyone just be ready. I don't know how we're going to escape, but I know I can't do it alone. I need people.
Okay. Gwen, Holly, you've been offered weapons. A knife for Holly and a cleaver for Gwen.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it too, and I'll grab
Okay.
also a butcher's knife just to be sure.
Sure. Yeah. You can just about do that. There's some bags and things. You could probably put a butcher's knife in a bag. And so the butcher's knife, as I say, is is damage 3 and crit 4. And it is a proper butcher's knife. It's not actually a weaponized knife. This is like a chef's knife. So it's not exactly made for that. The hook we've already said is for it is for Helen, damage 5, crit 2. And the cleaver that Gwen has got is damage 4, crit 3, and vicious 1. And if you remember the lovely Felicia using her vicious, that means that if you score a crit, when you roll a crit on something else, it gets plus 10 to the crit roll.
Nice.
But the cleaver can only be wielded by people who have got the physique, and the hook as well changes its stats based on the physique of the person as well. Okay.
Ruby. Ruby.
Holly.
When?
I'm Owen. Hello. You two, get out of the dirt. If that thing or more come in, you can't fight in dirt. Stop you moving. You'd be helpless like kittens. Please just get out.
Yes.
Okay. Holly, the second that you get on the gantry, you recognise that the terracotta colour around the well is indeed dried blood.
Ah.
Caked.
Yeah.
Probably several people's worth to get that, and you have a feeling that they didn't just liberally pour 7 people's worth over it. Probably just splashes and splatters that happened over time. The number of people who probably got disposed down there.
Yeah, that's not the way we're going. That is the way where they probably disposed of waste.
You recognise the sweet smell that comes from that direction.
Yep. Nope. Not going in there. Not going in there. What we're going to land on is going to be corpses. We are not going in there.
The only of this hallway down here, there's actually one. There's one waiting down there. It's on its knees. It hasn't noticed us. Maybe someone could sneak over and it may be too big to stab.
4 together. Stay together.
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I have an idea then. What if we bring it to us? Since Ruby, you're the biggest. You look very injured. What if someone throws something at it and then hopefully brings it over and you attack it in quick succession as it comes through the door?
Isn't it? Can I? Do I see it, Simon? Is it already? Does it seem like it's hurt already? Considering we're
It's
screaming.
in a very strange position. It is perfectly still, on its knees. The right angle of the wall and the floor is exactly where the knees are. It's pressed against the wall, flat, right up against the wall, and it's completely motionless.
Are there like handrails on the gantry? Sorry.
But it's gantry floor. It's a gantry floor, but it's not above anything apart from like shit and dirt and whatever below.
Okay.
Handrails, no. The only thing that's along the walls every now and again is spot welded hooks into the kind of rigging. Part of this is like scaffolding. Part of it is almost like kind of girders or metal sheeting that's been kind of cobbled together. And as I say, there's 4 metal doors on the left, 4 metal doors on the right, and 3 doors on the left. Between the 3rd and 4th door is where the pigman is in this very strange position, pressed face first up against the wall, with making like an L against the side.
Width. Sorry,
Does
what's
it
the width
look like
between
his
the two?
back is? Sorry.
Sorry, what's the width between the 2 sets of doors? Like, what's the width of the corridor, effectively?
So length of the corridor, if we say that each of the doors is about 75 centimetres wide.
Oh no, width. How between each of them? How wide is
in
it?
between each one. How wide? It's about 1.5 meters wide. The walkway. You could probably get 2 of you fairly comfortably, but swinging weapons probably one. Well, not with the knife actually. With the knife, you could probably get two people abreast with a knife, and neither would have a problem. It's fairly tall. I would say this is about just over 2 meters tall, and that's mostly down to the kind of cavern that this place has been built into, and the doors are quite substantial as well. I'd say they're metal doors, or at least metal coated doors, kind of metal paneling on them. Security doors is what you're getting.
So before we forget, does it look like with the angle of him being face first and the legs are pointing that way, you say?
Yeah.
Does it look to me like his back is completely broken? Because I'm pretty sure humans don't bend that way.
Humans do. If I was to kneel down now on my knees and I was to stand to attention with the rest of my body, I'd be fairly straight.
Yeah, but you can't have like your hips bend that way and have like be like that.
No, the bend is at the knee, not the hip.
At the knee. Oh, okay.
It's on his knees.
Yeah, he's on his knees. That's what I said. He's kind of stood at attention on his knees, but the entire his thighs, his gut, to the point where his gut is kind of pressed against the wall, kind of smooshed flat. His chest and his face all pressed against the wall.
Okay.
It's
weird. I don't know if it's here or dead.
let's
Sort of repentant or something.
it's narrow. Let's move.
After a meter and a half, you can go past single file and not touch this thing.
Let's get closer, but together.
Yes.
I'd say weapons at the ready.
As you go past each door, you realise that at head height, there's a little sliding hatch that would allow you to look in through the door.
I look at the others and point at it and do a little motion.
And like
Says,
hold
"I
my hand
nod."
up, like slowly, like just don't do it rush because the metal may make sounds. I'm like slow.
So, did you say you're opening it, Scum, the little hatch?
I do move to open it. Like I have to just like very slowly, just making sure not to make a single squeak.
Okay. Give me a... Am I set to score? No, I need to switch to score. Ooh, lucky boy. You've got a yellow in this.
Yay!
Oh, yay.
Yellow, green, 2 purple, 2 black.
Oof.
Oh, time to roll.
Ooh,
You see nothing.
One thing.
Inside is too dark for you to see anything.
Could have been worse.
Well, that's probably better.
keep moving. Keep moving.
Does.
You clear past the first set of doors and then the second. As you get closer, the creature that's up against the wall doesn't move, doesn't react, stays completely still.
How far away are we from it now?
Just past door 2, you are 2 meters away, just over 2 meters away.
I use my boot. I use the toe of my boot to like bang on the floor times, like to bang the metal.
No reaction.
Does it look scared or something? Of us?
motionless and pressed against a wall.
Does it look dead?
Possible.
Keep going.
Yeah, let's just go.
Go.
Yeah.
One at a time.
Who's
Yeah,
going
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Has anyone put on the
painfully-
coat?
Sorry?
Has anyone put on the coat?
Yeah, we gave it to Ruby.
Ruby didn't accept it.
Didn't put it on.
Okay,
So you still have the coat in your hand.
I'll be wearing the coat then.
Increase this up to 3. And Ruby, you get closer to this thing. You're kind of very gingerly trying to get past it, waiting for it to move. Let's take a look. Oh. Give me 2 green, 2 purple, 1 black.
One red.
No.
Black.
2 green, 2 purple, 1 black.
Black, sorry, I misheard you. Oh, 2 threats.
Not a failure.
You press yourself against the wall, and as you do so, you're keeping as much distance away from this thing as you can. You're not paying attention to the hook, and the hook just clips something, and with a dang, you jump away from the wall thinking that something's behind you, and in doing so collide into the creature. The creature separates and keels away from the wall. And as it does so, this string like spaghetti of innards gets pulled out of its body. You can see that its stomach has been opened up with a mostly circular aperture, almost like it's been carved porthole in the stomach. Most of the entrails have sucked out into a pipe, and sure enough, the pipe that's in the wall has lots of little teeth around it, like a lamprey's mouth. This is clearly what was used to kill it. And you can see that its intestines have mostly been sucked out of its body and into what seems to be a vacuum tube. And now that the creature has fallen to one side, you can see there is indeed a small rudimentary panel. Just a couple of buttons and a switch. Presumably they operate what seem to be a small mechanized shredding mouth and a vacuum system.
I sort of lurch back away from that panel and then just start scanning like anything similar, like either side, coming up or behind.
Seems to be the only device of this type in the corridor. And yeah, you well, first of all, let's register the threats that you had. So take 1 strain.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like you to make a... Ooh, I forgot you were playing that character. Yeah, do me a 1 green versus 3 purple.
Oh shit.
I expect great things. Yep.
Oh,
you
that's
failed.
4 failures. That's well failed.
Lose another point. Well, gain another point of strain.
Yeah.
Who's directly behind Ruby?
Me. I'd say me.
Yep. Okay. So directly behind Ruby would be you, Gwen. I would like you to do me a 2 green and 3 purple, please. Okay. You what am I going to do with you? Yeah, you soil yourself. Your bladder completely empties itself at this point. You're wearing jeans as well, so it's quite nasty. But you hold it together. You're angry at yourself. Actually, you're not quite sure why. You feel like you've betrayed yourself in some way by pissing yourself. Ruby is corpsing right now. She's just completely silent. She's got bright white. You soiled yourself, but you're holding it together, and that's where it stops. The other two, you don't have to make the same checks. You do see what's going on. It freaks you the fuck out. But somehow the shock of this happening stops at Gwen. You have a feeling that if Gwen had freaked out, it would have had like a domino effect.
Right. Okay, so there was a panel that he was attached to that cut his stomach open. Essentially,
Yep,
was
there
it?
is a shiny ring of small cutting teeth that looks like say a lamprey's mouth, or for those of you who don't know what a lamprey is, a mind flayer's mouth. So a large metallic mind flayer's mouth that's in the wall, and what seems to be a device that operates the cutting teeth, and what looks like a vacuum pump.
What the fuck is this place?
I guess it's a harvesting place. As everyone's panicking, even though my characters should be paying attention to all the gore, they've become work focused in a way. Like the idea of they, instead of looking at that, they're focusing on the minute details. They want to see if there's a scuff mark and a door, if any of the doors look like they've opened, because they're wondering how something that big would have fallen onto a suction thing unless someone, say, came and kicked it from behind or pushed it or...
The only thing, based on what you can see, and I won't even give you a roll, the only potential thing that could have happened is that this thing went up to this device and willingly used it on itself.
Yeah.
It willingly disemboweled itself.
Maybe...
Okay. I guess avoid... Do you tell us this?
There's no sign of a conflict. He must have went and sacrificed himself. Maybe that's what the argument was in the room. Maybe that's why he killed his friends.
Maybe? Okay, at least I'm happy knowing we won't disembowel ourselves by accidentally touching the wall.
Holly, now you're close enough, you notice that this one's female.
That's a...
And yet they look almost identical. Same hairy chest, same calloused arms. These aren't boobs, they're boobs.
That's a...
Both pigmen and
girl.
pig women look similar to each other.
Yeah.
What, this may sound out of the blue. What if this was a lover's quarrel? What if that's what drove her to kill herself?
Maybe? I mean...
I'm guessing.
He's-
I have no idea.
Wouldn't want to
Does
live in
it
space
fucking
either.
matter? Let's just get out of here.
Hey, let's go.
Now you can see the end of the corridor. There's what seems to be an industrial lift, and it's the type of lift that you would have the concertina doors that are kind of hashing that extend and come back and forth. And there's some industrial stairs with the kind of aluminium plating on the bottom that go up. You can see that in the shaft that this walkway, this staircase is in, there's signs of machining on the walls. So maybe some mining equipment mined down here. They haven't done anything to the walls of the shaft. They've just mined down and then just put this gantry up.
I just like, don't. We should use that stairs if we're going to go up, not the elevator. If this is an industrial building, the elevators make sound to warn people that there may be a heavy load going up and down.
Yeah, let's take the stairs. Definitely.
I mean, there's so many horror stories where taking the elevator is a red flag.
So before we go forward, I just wanted to look at any of the like electrical panels that we've seen, including the one for the elevator. Because normally a building uses very similar electronics. My character's thinking maybe we can get an idea of what buttons will do if they follow the same layout.
Yeah.
For usability.
So the lift has a up and down button. The wiring looks old. Maybe kind of like 80s. And looks like the lift is out of part of the options as well because it requires a key that you don't have.
A key for the doors, a key for the panel.
Key for the control panel. The doors open and close happily. They've just got like a little latch that just latches them together. The control panel itself, to make it go up and down, has a key that quite clearly switches it on. Now that you're close enough to see the delights of this lift, the same hooks that you see across the corridor are in this lift. By the looks of the hooks and the size of the lift, it's a fair sized lift. You could probably hook. Oh, no, let's not go that far yet. It's got about 12 hooks in this lift.
Okay, we're not going in the lift.
Ruby
Definitely not.
Ruby goes forward to the control panel, takes the hook, and starts beating the crap out of the control panel with the intention of breaking it.
Okay. You know what? I'm actually going to use a non-combat skill for what you were doing.
Woo.
Oh.
Yeah, and both
Good or
of
bad?
both of them are the same. So, give me one yellow, one green, and yeah, this is fairly straightforward. Just two purple.
All dice have cancelled out. Well done, me.
You start bashing away at it, and you get to a point where you choose to stop, because this is neither a epic failure or a rearing success. The reason why you stop is that you do bash one of the panels off. You go to swing, see all of this old electronics in, you're like, I'm going to fucking electrocute myself, and you choose to stop.
Okay. Need to disable the lift so they can't come up, down.
Yeah.
I get what you're doing. I go up next to her if there's place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the butcher's knife to sort of disable the key mechanism, so the key can't be used.
If you put the knife in the keyhole, you'll just break off the end of the knife. You could maybe jam something in there. That would probably be your best bet. Just find something to jam in there.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have to be complicated. You could tear up one of the nappies and just stuff it in. Spit on it so that it starts to swell, and yeah, that should do it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Not even going to get you to roll for that. It's simple sabotage. Yeah. Stuff a bit in, hock a loogie at it, rub it in, and you can see it. It's starting to get all fuzzy and shit. Anybody puts a key in there, they're just going to be wadding that at the end. That's going to be pushing down tumblers. It's not supposed to. How do you know this? But anyway, yeah. You got a free pass on that roll. Might tell you something.
Okay.
Did she do it? Don't know why I know that, but this should do it.
Okay, let's get to the stairs.
Would you like to take a breather first?
No, let's go. Keep going, please. Keep
Slowly
going.
but surely, you keep going. Keep going. And the stairs go up quite some way. It's actually 6 short flights of stairs. Quite a tall climb until you get to the top of this particular stairwell. There's a pair of doors in front of you. They're very strange. They kind of flap in and out like that. The bottom of the door has a kind of black rubber, maybe like about 10 centimeters of black rubber at the end that just skims across the floor, almost like it's to stop airflow or something like that. Because they flap in and out, it's almost like a trolley door. And so you can just hit it with a trolley and they'd open, and you can hit it from the other end and get through as well. Normally something that people want to push through in a hurry, or large amounts of people push through. And sure enough, at the top of the stairwell, which is also the top of where the lift would be, you do see that there are 2 trolley-like apparatus. The one is just a wheeled, like a kind of plastic minecart, I guess I would describe it. It's a bin on wheels. Quite large, probably about maybe 300 litres. Probably a bit bigger than that, actually. It's probably about 500 litres. And it smells fucking rank. It's got dirt at the bottom of it. No particular sign of blood, some flecks that might be. But it is rank as all fuck. It smells puke and piss. The other piece of apparatus is a kind of a power lifter. This is the type of thing you will see when people bring pallets out into Tesco's. They will put it into the pallet, and it's like a one half of a forklift, but instead of actually climbing into it, you just hold the button, and it allows you to gently pull along what is a vast amount of weight. Except this doesn't have the forklifts on it. It's got some hooks though. It's got some carabiner hooks.
And hooks.
You can hear machinery on the other side of the door, not kind of like clank clank clank, but more of a whirring sound, maybe pumps, air handling, that kind of thing. And you do hear over that maybe like a lowing sound, like a faint moan, I guess, or a groan, or almost like a cow, kind of like a oh sound that doesn't match up with the machinery. But it's only for a moment. It just breaks through from the sound of the machinery momentarily.
Are there any windows in the doors?
2 round windows, 1 in each leaf. And
Can I take a peek through? Very carefully take a peek through.
the cross-hatched metal flooring that you're on gives way to, I guess, linoleum, almost like a hospital floor. It seems to be very clean. In fact, you can see at the other end of the corridor where there seems to be an office, but it goes on to what you're hoping is maybe another stairwell. But you can see there's like a security door at the end that you would potentially have to get through. As like almost like a hospital corridor. And along here, it's divided into 4, and you can see that it has again these large flappy doors, and there seems to be windows, but the windows are at the wrong angle for you to see through into the side rooms. So again, it's a wider corridor this time. This corridor is about 2.5 meters wide. Clean walls, clean ceiling. Kind of, as I say, like a pale blue with flecked plastic flooring. that as it goes up to the wall has a slight curve to it that again you find in hospitals because it's easier to clean. And then you've got more of these these flappy sash doors, and then these windows, but you can't quite see what's going in there.
Any people, beings, movement? Is it just completely empty?
Nothing at the moment.
It looks like a hospital. Looks like a hospital.
Anyway, this is one of those places where they harvest organs. I heard about them in Amsterdam or something. We've got across. We no longer had home. Oh, how did this happen?
Yes.
You can all agree that waking up in an abandoned hospital is bad.
This can't
Even worse when it's not abandoned, but with strange masked people.
Yeah, that's.
We can't just take the chance of running through, can we?
We've got to be quiet, I'd say.
Or do we make noise and see if things
We don't want to make noise now.
No,
maybe
never make noise.
Maybe a lot of people. If this is a type of factory, even if it's for organs or that, there may be multiple people here. There may be buyers. There could be a cavalcade of all possible people of these type of things, criminals and other people using this building. This may not even be its only purpose. Maybe I should lead. I don't want to, but I'm more quiet than you. Sorry. Your injuries are making you cough up at times, and maybe if I take a few steps ahead, I can see stuff.
Yes.
I'll be seconds then.
Let me.
Watch your six.
Can I just try the wheels on that cart?
The wheels on which one do you want? The bucket cart or the power mover?
The bucket cart.
Bucket cart? Yeah, the wheels work fine.
Do they squeak?
No. They're encrusted with filth. Makes great lube.
If you push, I get in. You push, maybe quicker.
Go ahead, you could probably do that. If I go forward, and
yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll help Ruby into the cart.
Okay. So while you do that, Erwin, are you sneaking ahead?
Yes, I'll be sneaking, trying to use my much smaller physique to try to keep down. But my arm I can't really deal with doors. Obviously, that easy.
These doors you can just lean against. So probably the security doors you would have struggled with because you would have had one arm, but still one arm as long as it wasn't locked. Opening the doors to the lift you would have had trouble with, but these you can just lean against it with your shoulder and you put a bit of weight against it. Doesn't make any sound.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep very close to down, lowering my back like quite low to the ground and only raising when I see windows or that.
So you're going to go low below the level of the windows. Yeah, the windows are probably just above waist height. So you could actually kind of get down and squat and you wouldn't be able to... No one who's inside would be able to see through the windows unless they were right up against the window.
Yeah, I'm just going to say below the windows and peek up now and then. Just because my cat is completely obviously paranoid at this point. But we're in some
so you are going to peek up
and
into the windows, yeah?
Only now and then. Just like a very quick peek and then back down.
Okay. First of all, let's get a couple of rolls on this because Scorm is being the vanguard in this. Lucky boy.
A panicked fool trying to escape.
I'm just going to check a couple of things. You have that much at the moment and that much at the moment. Okay, well, you're not doing too bad. So, first of all, give me 2 green versus 2 green.
Two
Two-
green versus
two-
two green.
Sorry,
Purple.
sorry,
Two
two
purple.
green,
Two purple.
two green versus two purple. Sorry. Good. You aren't the stealthiest person, but there's not a huge amount. There's no a huge way of being stealthy in such a brightly lit and sterile corridor. So as you're moving, there is a little bit of a pad from your feet, and you realise that you have to choose which of the two windows you can't be seen from because it's such a wide corridor. You've chosen the right-hand side, and from the left-hand side, you can't see anybody in the opposite room, but neither can you see into the room as well, because as you're looking up, you see the ledge of the window, and all you can see is a suspended ceiling. You know, normal kind of foam suspended tile ceiling, with strip lighting and all the rest of it. It's very sterile, very normal after what you've just been in. And then, as you say, you take a look into the window that's next to you. Ooh. Just reminding myself of your crit, actually. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Throwing yourself there. Throwing yourself against it. This has got to be a cool check. Which, good news for you, if I've got this right. Yeah. Give me a yellow, 2 greens,
Ooh.
against 4 purple.
Ooh.
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 Oh wow! Okay, so sorry,
Science.
I have not been I've not been flicking this up on the screen, but I can actually bring up the dice rolls for the chat.
Thank you.
So that's 1 success, 1 threat, and 1 try.
Bye, Shadow. Sorry.
See you later, Shadow. I promise it's not always like this. So you look in, and for a moment your mind refuses to believe what it sees. But in another sense, you feel prepared. You talk about organ harvesting and all that lot. But what it only partially prepares you for what you see. And you pass with a triumph. You resolve yourself to where you are, Erwin. With a deep breath, you force yourself to look at the sight in this room. Bear in mind, none of the others have seen it. What you see in front of you are row after row, probably around about, because it's in a grid, about 25 people. Each of them is in a pair of stocks. Like stocks. Like you find at the Ren Fair. Yeah? Except these stocks are made of aluminium. Each person that's in these stocks is naked, on their knees, slumped, not even bothering to hold their weight up on their knees anymore. Some of them are grotesquely overweight. And you can see that the faces of the front row, they have a large clear plastic tube that goes into their mouth and clearly down their throat. There's 2 smaller tubes that go into their nose, and a black rubber tube that seems to be coming out of their arse. And this is a 5x5 grid. Male, female, doesn't matter. There doesn't seem to be any correlation or anything. And you got a triumph, lucky you. You're reminded of what they do to geese to get foie gras pâté. And
What did he do to geese?
they stick a pipe down their neck and they force feed them.
To fatten them.
The soulless, roomy eyes of the 5 figures in front don't even register you quickly peeking into the room. You can tell that they're alive. They're doing slow, shallow breaths. Occasionally an eye will roll very slowly. But they seem to be sedate, staring into space, catatonic. And then you hear a and the clear tubing going into the throats of these people start to fill with a pale pink substance. It seems unctuous, flows through the pipe easy. And if you hadn't got a triumph, there would have been a lot more going on from you. With the triumph, I will tell you, you probably want to hide this fact from the others if you can. You have a feeling some of the others won't be able to take it.
Just like turn to everyone else, like, don't look in that room, please. Trust me. It's a lot of viscera. Something we don't want to see. Something we can only help if we get out of here and find the correct authorities. Please, everyone, just listen to me forward. Just eyes forward. Use that trolley and just go past. Don't think of anything else. Please.
That bad, huh?
Yes. Let's just say organ harvesting would have been a preferable option.
And Gwen just keeps rolling forward, listening to Squirm or Erwin.
The trolley doesn't make any particular sound. It does have a trundle sound. Even well-oiled trolleys have a bit of a trundle sound as they go over various things. It gets a lot quieter once you get onto the hospital flooring. And are you all following Erwin's advice and not looking up?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Ruby's like crouched at the front of the cart bin, so hook ready, but like crouched down to sort of give a bit of protection, and so she's got no desire to look, or she's just ready in case something happens.
Okay. You get to the end of the corridor. Not investigating, not looking in. And sure enough, there's an office at the end. Looks like any office that you would find in any factory or hospital. There seems to be a chair, like a typical kind of office chair, a little beaten and old. Again, foul smelling, and there seems to be paperwork on a desk, a little L-shaped desk. There's, in a moment of crazed dark humour, a little tannoy button with a little mic. And there seems to be two CCTV screens. One of them looking into the pit that you came from. You can still see the face-down figure in the mud. And one of them looking down this corridor and... no, not looking down this corridor, looking down the stairwell. If somebody was here, they would have seen your movements.
Why is there no one here? Why?
Yeah.
There's no
they were
computer,
here.
just the paperwork, which seems to be in a lot of folders, box folders, things like that.
Can I scan any titles on the box folders?
Yeah,
Or flick them open to see what's inside?
it's in some sort of code. Strange geometric shapes instead of letters of the alphabet.
And if I flick them open to look at the paper, is that all the same as well?
Same language.
Is it me? It makes no sense. Is it me? It's me.
I have a look at them.
It's not just you.
Inverted L signs, squares on tops of sticks, some sort of fucking code.
Ooh. Is it? Well, there is a code that I know from from Scouts, where you do like you make a grid and you make it like there, so you make it with like open boxes, so just like one closed box, and then it's like L, a U, and then you like, is it like that?
Nothing that you can see, nothing jumps out at you, and you don't feel particularly compelled to stop and do a puzzle.
No, let's go. No, it's not just you. It's a code.
Many criminal organizations will use codes to hide what they're doing.
Corinne, I will give you something though. Even though you can't read the words itself, I would like you to give me a... What am I going to give you?
What are you gonna give me?
Yeah, go on. 3 green versus 3 purple.
Also, my thing is until the end of the encounter. So is that like, because that's normally a scene? So is that from like the first room, or how does it work?
You think this is over yet?
I mean, a scene is normally one combat or for like one thing.
This whole experience is a scene.
2 advantages.
2 advantages. Looks familiar. Looks disturbingly mundane, like record keeping. But you don't really get much else from that. It's some sort of record, which you kind of already assumed. But what it doesn't look like is anything eldritch or cultish or anything like that. It looks normal, disturbingly normal and mundane, like this is somebody's job, and it's well written. You know what I mean? That this is a clear handwriting. It's handwritten, and you can see, you know, that there's pages and pages of this stuff, and it's all done in the same thing, to the point where, you know, you look at the pen on the desk and you go, well, that's a good pen. It's a gel pen. Somebody actually went out and bought this pen to come here and write these records or something about this fucking place.
Ruby's going to take 2 pages each, like the top 2 pages each, from 3 different box files, put them together, fold them up, stuff them in her pocket.
Sure.
So this headache is getting on my nerves. Can I try and do something to get rid of this headache? Like, rub my temples really hard. I don't know.
You just
I want to do a medicine check on myself to get rid of the critical.
You are in an office. The first thing you do see is a first aid kit.
I'm going to grab that and see if there's anything that will help with my headache.
In the first aid kit, you do find that there is some aspirin.
I take some aspirin.
Typically in first aid kits to help with heart attacks. Sure. You take some aspirin. Give me a...
I do a medicine check.
2 green versus 2 purple.
2 green versus 2 purple. Hooray!
Yeah, you're suddenly very kind of... Oh, yep, that's what I was needing. That's what I was needing. You have staved off the effects. You're still at 1 critical, but you've staved off the effects. You're like, yep. Okay, that's... and, you know, it's taken down. You do also notice that there's a nice triangular bandage here that you might want to use on Owen.
Yeah. Yes, I get back. Owen, can I see your arm?
Yes, I was wondering if it was going black or anything. Here, you know better more than me.
Yeah. I have this bandage here. This this is gonna hurt, so just be aware. And I
One
try
yellow, 2 green, 2 purple.
1 yellow, 2 green. Do I get blue for using
You have a full first aid kit. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a tool bonus.
So 2 blues or 1 blue?
1 blue.
1 blue. Okay. Threat. I completely. I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well.
It's kind of immobilized, but it wouldn't. It doesn't look like it's in a bit where it would actually help restore it in any way. You're not sure, but he may have put the shoulder out, so dislocated the shoulder. Not good. Yeah, definitely not good.
I can't really do much with it. I'm sorry.
Is there a fire extinguisher in this office?
Yes, there is.
I'm taking the fire extinguisher. Well, yeah, I'm picking up the fire extinguisher. I'm trying to think. I've got a hook. Yeah, no, I'm definitely picking up the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Is it a small one or is it a big one?
It's a fairly small one, so yeah, I'd say you're okay. You're okay. If you, it will take up both of your arms to do it, though. Yeah. So if you needed to attack with a hook, you'd have to drop the fire extinguisher momentarily.
Okay.
Okay.
I need drawers, lookers, cabinets.
Yep, there's drawers in the desk, and when you open it up, it's mostly stationery that's in there. There's a couple of old keys, because in every office, when you open drawers, there's a couple of old keys that people have forgotten what they do. You do see that there's a few bits and pieces. There's some breath mints. You do also find that one of the cupboards underneath the desk is locked. It's just a standard little lock.
Okay. Does one of the keys work? Or of the old keys?
No, because there's always a pair of old keys that nobody knows what they do.
Yeah. Can I find a way to sort of break the lock?
I mean, this is an office desk. You could just strong arm it.
Yeah, I'm going to strong arm it.
Okay. Just to see whether or not anything bad happens. Give me a... Let's see. Oh, I need to switch to you. Give me 2 green versus 1 red. Yeah. Rip.
Yeah.
Fucking IKEA furniture. You just pop it open. Yeah. And yeah, you tear the door off. It's fucking corkboard inside. Chipboard inside. Nothing. You do see that in here there's it's got a cool bag. Nice little cool bag that you normally have like a bento box in.
I'm going to take that.
Okay. Yeah, you got a cool bag. It seems to have a box inside it. If you open it.
I'm going to open the box inside it.
Yep. Inside this, there seems to be what you can see is like a multi-layer lunchbox that you get with some bento boxes. The bottom layer is all salad. And the top has got like a little thing full of salad dressing. And in between, you've got kind of what looks to be meat. It looks like maybe beef, maybe pork. And it's sprinkled with like a kind of crunchy stuff, like maybe dried onions or something like that. Seems to be someone's lunch.
Still looks good enough to eat?
Yeah, looks fresh. In fact, the cool bag's done its job. It feels quite cool to the touch.
Okay, I'm going to bring that to everyone else.
Yep.
And offer some food.
I just pull out my bag, like, I've got a bunch of baby wipes. Clean your hands if you're going to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've got some wipes too.
I see, is there any alcohol gel around? Any sort of... anything in the, like alcohol wipes? They might have some
actually,
like...
actually on the wall At the next to each sash door on the sides, on the wall, there is a gel dispenser. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, even better when I point at the thing and
Yeah.
I
Keeping
join
your
in
head
big.
down.
frantically go
Yeah.
with my hands.
Keeping
few
your head
times.
down so that you don't look in according to Erwin's
Yeah.
rule. Yeah, you can gel up your hands. Sure.
Yeah.
I
The
have
rest
a
of you
request.
still smells of shit and piss, but your hands seem fairly clean now.
Yeah.
I have a quest of Gwen. Without
Yes.
looking at those screens, I want to see if you can find a way. You looked when you were dealing with the elevator. You looked like you knew what you were doing. Do you know how a closed circuit camera would work? Do you think you'd be able to switch the monitor to look at other things? The problem is I don't want it to look at the thing I've seen. But if I look at it while you're switching it, maybe we'll see an exit or a fire escape or something. The person who works here probably didn't travel through the industrial area to get to his office. I don't know.
I mean, I could try.
Yeah, you have a ferret around. It seems oddly familiar, Gwen. You go, yeah, this is where you switch it, and Owen pulls the monitor around. It's not it's by no means a new CCTV system to switch the different channels. There's just a knob that goes click, 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 click. And yeah, Owen, you see the pit. You see, thankfully insulated by night vision cameras, the 8 rooms downstairs. And you can see there are figures there, and based on how the poses that they're in and the fact they're still, they're all dead. Probably long dead, in fact, looking at the silhouettes. But because it's on a screen, it's a little grainy. You're insulated from some of the horror. When you opened the thing before, be glad that the darkness defeated you, otherwise you would have seen something that probably would have started eroding your sanity. And yeah, as Gwen clicks through it all, you go through all 4 of the feeding rooms. And of the 4 feeding rooms, one of them's empty, one of them is half full, and the people who are in there are huge. The one that you looked into, which people are fairly huge, and one room where they're not as big as the others. Maybe they've only just started to be fed in the last few weeks.
I can't see a way out on any of these cameras. I look at the feed. I say to go back to the feeding room and see if any of them look like they have like a hatch or like a grate or any other doors leading from them that could possibly lead to anywhere else.
Feeding rooms have got very little. You do notice that every feeding room has that kind of lamprey's mouth suction disemboweling thing. But that's about the only thing. The only way that you'd escape through those out of here is in chunks.
I just like put the like thank you, Gwen. Let's have this food, and then I want to talk to everyone. But we should eat fast, not too fast to choke yourself or give yourself heartburn, but enough that we get through this in a few minutes. The person who brought this food in may still be around and maybe fetching help.
Okay.
I have something I need to tell you.
Cool. Everybody make the following roll when I tell you to. The diff will be 2, and I'll tell you each of you to do it. So Hermit, do 2 green versus 2 purple.
2 advantages.
2 advantages. You're feeling nauseous because of everything that's gone on, but you eat and you seem fairly okay. Yeah. You have some of the salad. The cherry tomatoes are quite nice. Okay. Helen, can I have...
No, Ruby is just going to have a little bit of the chocolate bar. She's not going to eat any of that.
Okay, I'll say for that then. The chocolate, as I say, it melts And because you're feeling quite nauseous to start with, the chocolate is probably the best one to stay with. So no, that's cool. That's cool. Corinne, please do again diff 2 and 2 green, 2 purple.
2 green, 2 purple. A success
Ooh.
and 2 threats.
You suddenly go, as you're eating some of the meat, you go, and you spit it out because this meat doesn't taste like anything you've ever tasted before.
Don't eat the meat.
And take a point of strain.
Yeah. And I tell the others not to eat the meat.
Well, let's see if the others had already swallowed. You've got, let's see. Hermit, give me... Scorm, give me 1 yellow, 1 green, 2 purple. Yeah, you detect it too. Also take a strain. And you spit it out. Hermit, Gwen, with the 2 advantages that you have, yes, you swallowed some of the meat, but you managed to steel yourself and go, that's done now. And somehow you managed to just find a way to rationale. I don't want to know what it is. I probably have an idea what it is, but I'll deal with that later. You just somehow managed to get your head around it.
So is there still some paper left with the strange writing on it?
Yep, lots of it.
Okay. Since something in this room feels familiar, I'm going to try to read it.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can have a quick look. Obviously, you can't stick around to do like a full Enigma crack of this.
No, of course not.
But yeah, give me diff 2. Sorry, not diff 2. Sorry, 2 green versus 4 purple.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you anything for the threats. Just in roleplay terms, you feel lost out of your depth. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We need to get out of here. Where's the exit? Where's the exit?
The only
Trying to find exit.
The only perceivable exit is to the left of the office, and it's a security door.
Yeah. Any sort of floor plan, fire exit plan on the walls, Simon?
No. So the security door is again metal. It does have a very thin window in it, like a strip window that goes down maybe 4/5 of it. Not so much that you could break the window and get through, and it's got that little metal wire in it as well. And the door's very substantial. It has got a big old handle on it. Seems to have a keyhole, but also you can see the type of thing that holds onto it. It's got a keypad next to it as well. So it looks like you can get it either by the keypad or by the key.
I look in the drawers in the office for a key.
You find 2 keys.
Nice. Are they identical or are they different keys?
They're different keys. Look quite old.
I try both keys in the keyhole.
Neither keys work because there are always 2 keys that you'll find in old office drawers that don't do anything, and everyone's forgotten what they do.
All right.
Gonna try to take off the keypad.
Try to take the face off the keypad, yeah?
Yeah, in any way.
You've got knives, you've got a hook. It might not be elegant, but sure. Sure.
Also, before we do all this, I'm going to try the door. It's locked.
The door is locked, yes.
Yeah.
As much as that would be incredibly funny, the door is most definitely locked. Yeah, okay. Let's do that now. Let's go for... You're trying to take it apart in a way that you can use it, presumably.
Yeah.
What flavour is that fire extinguisher? Is it carbon dioxide or is it water?
It is indeed carbon dioxide.
If I can't remember if it works.
Probably. I think I know what you're trying to do. I don't know.
That it will
It
work.
works
No.
in principle, but I don't think it works as well in practice with
Yeah.
like freezing and like trying to shatter steel is
Oh,
incredibly
I
difficult.
wasn't actually thinking that. I was thinking, can you put like a fine mist over the keypad to see which keys have been pressed? But I don't think it will show up enough.
No.
It was something
Oh.
like, something a bit thicker than it.
Yeah. You
Uh,
can
carry
see like you probably see better on the wear and tear on the keypad, which we might want to do before we start like killing the keypad.
You know what? I even though this is horror, I want to reward good thinking. So Helen, give me a
Ruby's intelligence.
two green versus one purple.
I'm not intelligent. Oh,
There's one purple.
Oh,
Ooh.
You feel terrified, and you don't want to be the one who does this, but you did see that when Gwen was picking up the nappies, there was some baby powder. If someone's willing to go all the way back down into the pit and get that baby powder, you're almost certain it would work.
no. I'm not going back to getting the baby powder.
no.
Yes, I'll
no,
go.
No,
I'll
no,
go.
no. It's,
No?
No, we stay. We stay. It's not.
We stay
It
together.
would
We're
work,
not going.
Maybe, but no.
No? So we're breaking it?
Yes. Break it.
Before we do this, I just want to tell everyone, this place is not for harvesting organs,
I don't want to know.
but
Just don't.
it's
Just,
maybe
I want to get
relevant.
out. Just want to get out. I just want to get out. Just let me get out.
Yes. Cover your ears for a second, Ruby. I want to hear what.
Yeah. Me as well.
Okay, whatever this place is either for one, fattening up humans to do something with them, or two, those weird pig things we met may have once been a person. And
Yeah.
that would mean the rooms behind us may be filling with those creatures that were once people. There was some on the cameras that looked as big or getting to the size of the two that we met. I don't want to stay here longer, and if you go back there, for all I know, they may rush out that room and attack, maybe full of hormones or anything that could be put through a food tube into their mouth.
Could we
Yeah.
cut off their food supply?
Huh?
Could we cut off their food supply?
That
Make sure
has
they
come-
don't become as
that-
big.
I mean,
don't
I
think-
just want to get out. Let's not worry
we
about
can't-
cutting off any food
We
supply. Let's
can't
just get
help.
out.
We can't help anyone here until we get out. The authorities can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
that case-
We decided we're not going getting the baby powder. We're just trying to get out. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're going to
right.
break the keypad?
Yep.
Okay. In that case, who's going to do the breaking?
The one that muscles for it.
The one without the one arm.
Yeah.
Well, Ruby's having a panic attack, so...
Well, I will ask Ruby if she can break the keypad to break it off.
You want me to break it, or do you want to just take the top off and look underneath?
I asked Gwen what her plan was.
Well, usually these keypads have sort of a override.
Circuit. Yeah.
Just
Yeah, so if we can take basically the lid off, we can get inside it.
okay. If I'll help you. I'll actually, can I use your knife and I'll go this side. You go.
Before we do
side.
that, I'm gonna do a very simple thing, and I press 0 4 times.
It doesn't do it.
It doesn't do it. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
It's obviously 111.
One,
1, 2,
2,
3,
3, 4. Beep.
4.
Really? So yeah, Helen. One yellow, one green, one blue, and 3 purple.
So this is to do it more precisely, yeah?
Yeah, this is to aid what would be the next one. So it's not that you don't do it. You do it, but it kind of half comes off the wall. And it's kind of a mess.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Gwen,
Take your knife
It's
back.
fine.
you can see the wires there, and you, as you're looking at it, you go, "Something so familiar about all this." And you can see some familiar things. You don't think you're an electrician, but there's something familiar about this. If you want, you can try to override it using now the innards of this keypad.
But that was the idea. So yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a mess. So it has been the diff has been raised. So give me one yellow, 2 green, and I'm just remembering what your thing was. Nope, you just ate some shit. That's fine. 1 yellow, 2 green, and that's against 3 purple and 1
Purple.
black.
And a black. Okay. Nope.
No. Nothing's happening.
We'll try again. It's not broken, so.
Can I cut away some of the mess?
Sorry?
Can I cut away some of the mess?
You can try, but when you're cutting away some of the mess, this will be your final attempt.
Can we help him in some way?
You can choose one person to help him, and then whatever help that person gives, I'll calculate in.
I will nominate myself to help because I think I have a good
Okay.
head on my shoulders.
Gwen, do it again. Add a blue.
Okay. So
Last roll.
1 yellow, 2 green, 1 blue,
3 purple, 1 black.
purple, 1 black.
Yeah.
This was destroy it or do it. You start cutting things away, knowing that if you cut away the wrong thing, it ain't going to happen. And finally, you just go, okay. So that's the sequencer. The sequencer is what we need. We can just give a positive to the sequencer, and then all we need to do is just touch this to this, and it'll happen. In theory, assuming we haven't broken it. And there's a ding, and you pull the door, click. In front of you is another stairwell. This one not made of metal. It's made of the same kind of hospital flooring going up. And again, another lift. This lift is is like a hospital lift. And sure enough, there's a form of modified gurney, I guess, made for a very large creature. You do also see the familiar looking carabiner hooks. Again, you can get about 12 in here.
Yep. Well, is there any other way up, or is it just the lift?
This lift is operational. It doesn't require a lock. It's just a case of calling the lift. There's the staircase, so you have a choice between lift and staircase. And there is one door that is quite clearly a broom closet.
Okay. Lift or staircase?
Before you do that, I just turn to the security door and try closing it and see if I can put some object to just hold it closed.
For
Probably in the broom closet.
The security door behind us.
oh right, yeah, you want to put an object in? Yeah, sure.
Yep, just to lock it closed.
Yeah, you could jam it. In fact, yeah, you open the broom closet, get a broom, do the whole thing, and putting the handle through. Yeah, you can do that easy.
Yeah.
You notice there's a lot of mops and things like that in there, and a lot of bleach.
I take some of the bleach because of how filthy I am.
Yeah, sure.
It's made useful.
This is a 2.5 liter square bottle, like a kind of almost like little jerry can of neat bleach, concentrated bleach. There's a tiny little sink in here to fill up the mop buckets and things as well, like a normal cleaner's closet.
I just like turned to Rose for a moment and said, "Can I ask for one of those pieces
There's
of paper?"
water. There's water.
No.
I'm
This is
gonna
not water. This is.
I'm going
this
to rush in and go to not the bleach, the sink.
Yep, the
And,
sink.
and turn
I
on
thought
the
you
tap
were
and
bleach.
drink.
Yeah, sure.
Please.
You drink. Give me a. Ooh.
Don't run in, go and drink when someone's holding bleach.
Yeah.
Three red versus 3 purple.
Three red versus red. Three
No, sorry,
purple.
three green versus 3 purple. Sorry, it's been a week.
Sorry. Just seemed a bit harsh.
All fail. Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It feels good to do it. You put some over your hair and all the rest of it and kind of clean yourself off a bit, scrub your arms. There's you look at the other cleaning agents here, and one of them is like washing up liquid or Jif, and you're like, fuck it, Jif's fine. And you kind of, you've kind of freshened up bits of you. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to go in the lift. I don't want to go in that lift.
No one wants to go in the lift. Ruby, can I have a look at the paperwork you took? Just for a moment, please.
Yeah, really? Now?
Yes, just one page. Just one page.
Passes
I just
over
need
a
to look at
page.
it for myself. I just have a look at it. Because my cats are thinking that they're wearing some type of suit, may know about paperwork, and may have some idea about like the layout of the paperwork and what it could possibly be related to.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely. Give me, let's see, this would be, for this particular check, it would be 1 yellow, 1 green, 2 purple.
Yep.
You're not entirely sure what the content is, but you've seen this fucking thing before. This is a ledger, man. This is order fulfillment.
There should be enough evidence when we get out of here that someone with enough knowledge to crack a decryption would be able to prove that there's some wrongdoing that's happening here.
I really don't give a fuck. Let's just get out.
With the previous triumph that you've had and what you've seen so far, bear in mind that Erwin is the one most in the know right now.
Yeah. We have no.
Erwin, this is an organized operation.
Yep.
It's connected. These are orders. Where do the orders come from?
My worry is when we get out of here, someone's going to come after us.
This is
I
some
don't
sort
care.
of...
Let's get out first.
An isolated cult wouldn't have what looks like a purchase ledger.
Let's worry about this afterwards. We're going to take steps, right? The question is, do we break this elevator as well?
Gwen, as the thought occurs to you, you know the best way to break this elevator is open the doors and jam something in there so that they can't close. Any of these mops, brooms, mop bucket, any of those things will do. Just jam it between the doors. Fucking thing can't work.
Ruby's going to start climbing the stairs.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yep, she's slowly climbing the stairs. This one doesn't make the same clinking sounds as the last one, which you're kind of glad about. And as you climb the stairs, are the rest going up after Ruby?
I do, but I kind of go like, just be careful as we go up. If this place is like a factory, the finished models would be as we get higher. Please be armed.
When you get to the top of the stairs, also you see that the lift would be there, and there seems to be another broom closet, which would presumably have the same things in it.
I would have jammed the one downstairs.
Yep, sure. You can see that there's another floor. Except this time there's someone in there. As you peek in, the same kind of sash type doors. As you peek in there, there is a gaunt looking humanoid. A different type of mask. This mask isn't the same kind of like pig snouted mask. It's instead just a mirror mask, like a fencing mask, just a simple dome, and it's got a mirror. And by the mirror, you're mindful of one-way glass or one-way mirror. So anyone who looks at this sees themselves, doesn't see the person underneath. The gaunt figure is in what I would consider to be what I call a Teletubby suit. It's a Tyvek suit. Tyvek is basically like a lab coat, but it's like a jumpsuit lab coat. Normally disposable. Cinches at the waist. And they've got a pair of work boots on. And over the work boots is like a blue, like a hairnet, but on your feet. Like a blue hairnet, but on your feet. And you can see purple nitrile gloves. Looks like a scientist or a doctor. Or the only thing that's out of place with this otherwise quite lean creature is the silver mask. You can see the hair is kind of pulled back for the mask to be put on. It doesn't seem to be stapled into the face. That's a good thing, right? And it's standing there with a clipboard at what seems to be like a nurse's station. So it's not a desk. Well, it is a desk, but it's like a standing desk. And the same layout as the last one. Seems to be 4 sets of doors. Windows at just above waist height.
Someone here. There's someone here.
That's not good.
Nick past him.
Like, how?
And if they notice, be ready with your hook.
Can I... Ruby wants to just opens the broom cupboard and just has a quick look in.
Usual stuff: brooms, bleach,
No
disposable
gloves.
things. Oh yeah,
No
gloves,
gloves.
marigolds. Yeah, there's some marigolds.
Oh. How many sets of marigolds are there?
Box of them, varying sizes.
Gets out marigolds. Marigolds. Passes them out. Gets buckets, mops. And goes, is it enough? I mean, look at the state of us, but can we?
Trying to pass yourself off as cleaners when you are coated in shit. Most of you immediately identify this as a bad idea.
No, we can't. We're currently covered in filth. We won't be able to pass us up as cleaners.
They might know us.
There's no.
They might have seen our bodies,
What?
our faces.
What?
I'm just saying he might recognize us right away.
The humanoid checks their watch.
Might be leaving. Does it
Let's wait
look?
for a bit.
Just be ready with the hook and let's try and sneak past.
I think it may be better to try grabbing this person from behind. As much as that may not end well, if one of us can get their hand round its throat, we may be able to choke it until they would have to know about what's going on here, meaning that they are a criminal. And if we have to use force to get past a criminal, we can at least justify it in any court of law. Just that we may have to choke them until they pass out.
The person who seems to have the physicality for this is Ruby, followed by Gwen.
Ruby, you want to get out of here, right?
Yeah.
Is that person more important to you? That their rights is that more important to you than getting out of here?
Ruby just pushes forward through and moves towards them.
Okay, so you
Gotcha.
you explode through the doors and charge them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before they
Take
before
a
they
strain.
can scream.
Yeah.
What are you up to? I need to check.
On 4.
You're on 4 strain. Okay. Sure. Okay. So yeah, you're quite far up. Weirdly, oh, there we go. I've just updated it. Now I can see it. Yeah. So you charge forward, and you're going to try to overpower this person. Yeah.
I'm swinging at them with the hook.
Oh, you're going to go
yeah,
full hook on them. Okay.
Yeah, I left it. Sorry, I should have said before I went through the fire extinguisher. I put it down, going straight in with the hook.
Okay.
But you're not choking him. You're just whacking with the hook.
Yeah.
Just hooking them. Okay.
Straight murdering
in that
them, yeah.
case, give me one. Yeah, I'm going to transfer it. 1 yellow, 2 green versus 2 purple.
Mm-hmm.
Triumph.
Advantage and a triumph.
Yeah.
So normally that would be that you don't succeed, but with the triumph here and the fact that this is bloody, triumph automatically goes into a crit. So can you roll me a crit plus 10, please? Because the weapon doesn't have vicious, but Ruby does.
Oh. Ruby's vicious.
Okay. You come in and smash this thing. The hook itself doesn't embed in it because you technically missed. But what you end up doing is you're trying to get it in the top of the head like you'd seen before. And what happens is that the hook part misses, but it's still a heavy metal rod, and you beam him on the top of the head. You hear from behind the mask. And increase the difficulty of next check by 1 for the stinger. I'm just going to say I'm going to give you a free second try. He didn't know you were coming. As you ran up, he was like, what? And then you swung. You beamed him. I'm going to give you another ability to attack. So attack him again.
So 1 yellow, 2 green, 2 purple.
Yep.
Ooh.
A hit and a crit.
A hit and a crit.
Okay.
Which plus
Nice.
20 this time.
So crit plus 20, please. And you do 6 points of damage against this guy. Discouraging wound. We're not using light side, dark side points. You embed the hook in his chest. You hear a gurgling sound. You think you might have pierced a lung with this kind of long, sharp hook, which is coming out at about 45 degrees. And he falls down because discouraging wound. He starts kind of, you can hear, no, as he's fending you off. But you do also see that by the fact that he's calling out, he's saying no, but he's also craning his head over to the door at the end of the corridor. I will say no. You haven't rolled anything to justify that. So I will say that he is going to try to disengage from you.
I was going to say, can I put my foot on him to yank out the hook?
He can't disengage from you because you've got the hook in him.
Yeah.
You took the hook. Cannot disengage. So he has to basically, his action has to be pulling the hook out of himself, which he does. So he's like, kind of thing, pushing it out. That's his entire action. If he tries to disengage, he can't disengage the turn that he takes the hook out. So what he's doing is he's trying to be defensive. So his maneuver is going to be that he's going to do the defensive action, which adds a black to your next attack.
Right.
He is screaming. He's going to give you away. He looks like he's wanting to run away.
Yeah.
And
so I'm hitting again then.
Do it again.
So two purples, 1 black.
With a black, yes, please.
Yep. Okay. Merciful.
Yep.
Yep.
That's enough. This time he's on the floor, he's prone, which should have maybe given you something, and you technically could have aimed at this point now. But I'm just going to say, with that amount of damage, this time you get it right in the top of the head. And it goes in, and there's this sickening crunch. He convulses for a second and then lies still.
Okay.
I very quickly...
Wait. Ruby stood up in the corridor.
I'm going to just dive behind the nurse's station.
Oh, we lost a hermit.
We lost Hermit. Well, we'll get Hermit back in a sec.
Yeah, so I'm going to dive behind
There we go.
the nurse's station,
Yeah, so leave it on.
taking
Sorry.
like hiding from the security door office area.
Yeah.
So I'm going the other side of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, because you were stood up, Ruby, you did see into these things, into these rooms. Before I do the description, I want you to do 2 green versus 4 purple. Yep. Take 2 strain.
Up to 6.
And I forgot that you did 2 extra attacks. So take another 2 strain. Sorry, I forgot to do it. Those were significant actions.
Okay, I'm up to 8.
You're 8 out of 9. You're shaking. You're absolutely shaking. Your knees are like jelly. It's almost like you're about to fall on the floor and just completely give up. Around you, these aren't people on all fours. These are people who are basically attached to boards, like whiteboards. If you imagine like a whiteboard, like a normal whiteboard, but portrait and the size of a human being, these people are strapped, head, and various other parts of their body. I say various other parts. It changes for each person, because each person who's strapped to these whiteboards is missing things. Could be a forearm, a hand, an eye. Some of them have lost both legs, both arms, and you can see there are scars on their stomach as they, as clearly other things have been taken as well. For those who have the most body parts missing, various tubes and things like that are going in clearly to keep them alive. And the rump, and the chill in this corridor, now you feel it. This place is refrigerated. Not down to, 4 degrees C. Just like a nice, maybe 12 degrees C. There's a smell of lemony air freshener in the air. And you can see, now that you've attacked this person, should we give them that name? In the corridor, the people who are there, or what's left of them, some of them are just looking at you with dead, cold, hopeless eyes. But 1 or 2 of them are thrashing up against these boards. Many of them just kind of, because most of them got like tubes and things in their mouths to keep them fed and things like that as well. Not force feeding, but this one is just a lower level of feeding. Some of them are trying to scream out to you and things like that. Most of them are gagged. One of them who isn't gagged cries out to you, and as he opens his mouth, you can tell his tongue is missing. You guys can see that after Ruby has done this and killed this worker here, she just stood in the middle of the corridor, near paralyzed with horror.
Okay, is there windows on both sides or just one side?
Both sides, yep. If you are doing anything other than kneeling down like you did in the last corridor, you will see everything. If you want to go up and reassure Ruby, you can't do it from her belt level. You'll have to stand up.
Yeah. Just look at the floor and be like, yes, do that!
I want to just turn to Gwen. Gwen, go drag Ruby behind the desk. Quickly. You're the only person strong enough to do so. And I pull out my knife with my free hand, my only hand.
Yep.
I'm expecting other people.
I mean, Gwen, if you're going to just go and tackle Ruby to the nurse's station, I'll say you probably do that without looking in. But if you're going to do anything other than just tackling her to the station, you will have to go through the same check.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. This is going to be against Helen's character's physicality, which is going to be interesting. But she's paralyzed with fear, so I'm going to give you some bonuses to this. So the diff will be 3. So that's 3 purple. And for you... Yeah, go on. It will be 1 yellow, 1 green, and 2 blue.
Okay.
Okay. You don't manage to get her down behind the station, but you do manage to get her to move a little bit. You kind of just turn her to face the nurse's station, and as you turn her to face it, you're just keeping your eyes down. So yeah, you haven't fully succeeded in what you intended to do, but you've done a bit. That roll there is kind of like a quarter of a success for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're still standing there?
You're still standing there, but you're kind of like just looking at Ruby's back, and Ruby is now pointed, so she's looking at the nurse's station.
Okay. I'm just going to hug her then.
Okay.
Calm her down a bit.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, go on. I will give you a second roll. Give me 2 green versus... I think you're...
Ruby's amazing social stats.
Yeah, I was about to say, Ruby should be quite an easy one to do. Versus 1 purple. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 green, 1 purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruby's a fucking powerhouse. But yeah. You hug Ruby and it has immediate effect. Ruby's not better now. She's far from fucking better. But it's a profound effect from where she was. She was so far down, any improvement is a profound improvement. Her breathing's starting to get a little slower. And again, you've got that physicality. Gwen is, as I say, is wiry, is lithe. You get yourself around Ruby's fucking Valkyrie body and kind of hold her and hug her momentarily as if to say, you're not alone, you're not alone. And yeah, Ruby is getting to the point of being basically functional. As in, functional for the basics. Will move, for example.
Yeah.
I want to go in low and I want to examine the body and I want to see if I can remove the mask. I want to remove it away from anyone else.
The mask pops off. It's a guy in his mid-30s. Normal guy, mid-30s.
Definitely human, this one.
Definitely human, white, dark hair. Basic bitch human NPC. Just nothing wholly remarkable about him at all.
Okay. And I put the mask back on. Because I did this away, like, I turned him away and did it, so, like, Ruby didn't see it.
He's just a guy. Okay. It's a dead body, but you feel oddly comfortable, Holly. Dead body in front of you, you're just kind of like, it's dead body. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that he's been brutally murdered is a little disturbing, but you don't feel the need to even roll.
Yeah.
Whereas you would have definitely needed to roll with the disemboweling, but this one you're kind of okay with it. It's bloody, but there's blood pouring out the top of his head and his shoulder, but it's not as bad as everything else, I guess.
I feel like I've seen worse.
Maybe.
He's coming. Something coming.
Oh, it's fine.
Holly,
We're together.
Holly, check to see if the nurse, they may have had a medical box that has a tranquilizer just in case someone escapes. Maybe that could be used to calm down Ruby.
Yeah. We don't want to give her anything that might cause. She's looking very unsteady, so I don't want to give her anything that might cause her to collapse. Though I will look for an ID card or any sort of card that would let you go.
There's an ID card. It's in the same coded language. And funnily enough, yes, there is a small box that seems to have a old-fashioned metal syringe, reusable syringe, and 2 vials, both of which have coded labels.
Yeah. I open and kind of...
You can't open the vials; they're crimp-topped.
Oh, okay.
They have a rubber septum in the top.
Yeah.
That you can put the needle through, but you can't unscrew them.
Okay.
Says the guy who for 8 years was making these things.
Yes, yes. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
dispute me there.
Oh yeah. So it's in a little case. It was in the lab coat pocket, and the Tyvek coat pocket. There are more vials on. Now that you look, there's more vials on the nurse's station. They're in the same code.
When I've seen this code a little bit, do I recognize it at all? Can I do some sort
you
of
recognize
check?
it's all the same code. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Bear in mind,
Yes,
It will get out.
we may have been playing this game for 3 hours, but it's been scant minutes that all this has taken.
Okay, well, let's keep going. I have these vials. I don't want to inject Mr. Liquid into people, so let's keep going.
I just call out Ollie. Say, Ollie, maybe load up that syringe with at least one of those liquids. Enough
Yeah.
for a large pig man, if you can judge that.
Yes. Hello.
You just fill the syringe. Just kind of like, I've got a full syringe of random.
Yeah, I'm gonna inject this to the next thing that hacks me.
Yep,
I'm
absolutely.
probably proficient in syringe.
Yeah, the only time you can use the medical skill as a combat skill.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you've got a syringe full of mystery liquid A or B. Doesn't matter. I'll just roll a D2. And yeah, sure. You do see that. Ruby. You do see that in the middle of each of these rooms with these people up against these boards, there is what seems to be a rudimentary operating table.
Need to get out now. I'm going to start moving towards the door.
I move towards the door as well. And is there a thing for a keycard?
Yep. There is a thing for a key card. There's an office as well, but it's another office.
Fuck the office. We're just going.
Fuck the office. Yeah. You go up there and you swipe the card, and it goes from red to green. And you as you open it up, the room after that seems to be some sort of packaging room. It's got a big container of and this is in English, it's not in code, it says dry ice on it. It's got lots of polystyrene boxes and cool boxes. It's got a vacuum packer and and lots of bags for the vacuum packer. And you can see there's another room that's beyond that starts to look more like a kitchen. And that's got what seemed to be, it's like a cross between a kitchen and a lab. And you can see lots of, I don't know, it's like steamers, dehydrators, something like that. Something to process, and you can see there is meat being steamed in like vacuum pouches, and there's others that are just being dried to human jerky, I guess. And you can see that there's a big whiteboard in the packing area, and everything on the whiteboard is in the same code, and the packing cases and things like that. It seems to be a mixture of processing human meat into jerky and sous vide. And what you can see from around you here, Holly, you think it's like in the same way that you would find organ donation, where the fresh body part, organ, whatever, would be put into a packet, into dry ice, and then shipped immediately. Yeah, and it seems to go out into...
Well, this tells me we're close to an exit. If they're here is where they do the packing.
Yeah, in fact, there's two sets of doors. One of them is a roller door that's shut, and the other one is a again, this isn't the sash door that goes back and forth. It's just a regular security door, but it's only locked on the inside.
Yeah, I go up, unlock it.
Yeah, you just turn the key, turn the tab thing. As you open it, it seems to have a code on the outside.
Yeah, I open it. Guys, come through.
Wait. Before we do, just so you know, the person called out for help, meaning that means they're assuming that help was nearby, meaning that there could be someone nearby who may try to stop us. But
Well, if there's anyone nearby, we'll fucking, I don't know, shoot them with Mr. Liquid. Let's go.
keep your
Was
weapons
anyone
handy.
nearby? They would have gotten here already.
Yeah, but no, anyone nearby, they've already been in here. So
Yeah.
let's just go.
As you open the door, you hear in an echoed and large chamber, very thinly lit. That means there's a lot of dark areas because it's got like kind of suspended fluorescent lights that do give enough light that you can kind of see what's going on in here. But there's lots of dark spaces, places where you could kind of hide, I guess. This is an open warehouse, just a thin corrugated shed. There's a slight smell of, I don't know, like farmyard smells. And as you open the door, you can see there are vehicles in here, cars.
Carl, let's get in a car.
But as you open the door, immediately you hear someone shout across, and this has got a vast barn. You hear, "Where the fuck are they? We've got a quota to fill." And someone else calls over and says, "I know, maybe something went wrong. I told them, get them all from one place. Get them all from one place. They all come here at the same time. We do them all at the same time. Those are probably going bad down there. We'll probably have to go get the gimps back up again." And it's like, no, you can fucking do that. I'm not going near those. I'm not going near those. Fucking hell. We're only supposed to be here for what, another 2 hours? Look, I gotta get back home. Get back to London. Well, how about me? You gonna give me a lift back? No. You've been told. We each make our own way back. You're still on fucking probation for bringing your fucking ID here last time. What the hell are you doing carrying your fucking wallet about? He said, "Well, I thought I left it in my car." "Well, you fucking didn't, did you?" People are going to start asking. They said, "Don't correlate your movements. I was stuck in the car overnight last night." I don't fucking care what they say. I'm not sticking around. As soon as I get to my car, I'm leaving immediately. You can hang around. No, I'm not hanging around. I can't even get back. I'm going to have to get the bus. You can't get the fucking bus. They told you. If you've got to walk away from here to get public transport, you've got to walk 5 miles. 5 miles is going to take me fucking age. Fuck that. 5 miles. We've had to kill 2 Rozzers as it is. We're not moving the facility again. We get paid enough for this. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Now, I got to get some of these cars out. Got to start driving them away. No. You got to wait till the others come back. What? You think we can just let these things stack up? Did you know that one of the ones down there is a fucking copper? What? Like I said, they started getting wise to us, didn't they? Told she was a bent copper. Either that or worked in Vice or something like that. Played dirty or something, but was on the right side. I don't fucking care. When they did the investigation on her, they said that, thankfully, she didn't have much in the way of family. But she's a fucking Rozzer, isn't she? She goes missing, they're all going to go looking for her. At least with the others, we were able to make it look like an accident. Yeah, car accident. Yeah. You like that a bit too much. I'm starting to worry about you. Oh, yeah, because, that's what we got around here. High standards of fucking humanity. I don't know, I'm getting fucking twitchy about this, mate. I say we go get the organs, and we do the 2-in-1. Put the organs in the back of the car, drive it off to the drop-off point, put the organs in the drop-off point, and we just fucking leave the cars for the cut and shuts. Yeah? Get them in the underground. No, they'll be here any minute, alright? You're losing your arsehole, mate. Keep it together. Yeah? Bad things happen all the time, yeah? All we got to do is just do this one more shipment and we're done. Yeah? 6. You and I. We've done 6 of these. After that, we just got to go home, disavow all knowledge, and tear this place to the ground. Yeah? Let the cleaners deal with it. I don't know why they put this together in a fucking hurry anyway. It's a shit place. Last one was much better. They're slipping. I'm glad it's my last one. You can hear that there are. You can hear that there are 2 men in a barn. There's a bunch of vehicles there, a bunch of cars. One of them, presumably, belongs to one of you. And these 2 men are not in the same location. They're across the barn from each other. Yeah. So it would have to be a 2-pronged attack if you're going to ambush them.
I was thinking if they were gonna go and collect the organs. I assume that's from here. They would both come in here and ambush them.
And then
the
other guy shot him down.
Yeah. Or just sneak into a car and floor it. Is my other suggestion.
Do we have the keys?
These are.
Yeah, I check before. I haven't really checked. Do I have any keys in my pocket?
No, you don't.
No. I asked the others to check for car keys in their pockets.
No one has car keys in their pockets.
Probably took them.
Let's throw you a slight lifeline.
Oh no! So Gwen is, sorry, not Gwen. Apologies. Ruby.
Yeah.
Is basically in a zone now, and so she started tracking one of the voices. So she's going to go down towards the one on the right randomly.
I just point out, just like as I do now, it's like, hey, one of them said they got keys. We can kill them and get out of here.
Yeah.
It will be justifiable murder because they were planning to kill us anyway. At least in some courts.
How quickly can Ruby find the one on the right?
Pretty quickly. They've been shouting like crazy. You've been able to track them.
Okay.
Getting to them,
just gonna hit.
Finding them and getting them is not a problem. Once you get out of here, you'll be rushing one of these guys. It would just be a charge attack.
Yeah. She's going to hook the guy that's near her. She's found.
It's like yell to Holly. Holly, as she does that, can you come jab that other person?
I'm ready. I am like ready if the guy comes running with Mr. Liquid.
So basically, if the guy on the left comes to help the guy on the right, you're going to dash out and stab him, yeah?
Yeah. With Mr.
I'm
Liquid.
also planning to join as well, just for the night.
Okay. Yeah.
I plan to join Ruby with my meat cleaver.
Okay, so Gwen and Ruby are going to go on the initial attack, and then when the other guy comes in to help, Erwin and Holly are going to jump on him, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get some initiative going, shall we? Let's see.
Well, are we doing initial surprise thing, I guess, because they have no idea that we are here.
No, there's such an expanse between you guys that that's not going to happen. Actually, looking at the time, yes. I'm going to change it slightly. I said there's enough darkness and things like that. You're going to dash on the guy on the right. So, Gwen or Ruby, who would like to attack first?
I think Gwen's going to attack first just because she's in that zone now.
Okay.
You mean Ruby? Gonna attack first?
Ruby's going to attack first. God almighty, I'm taking over Gwen, apparently. I'm channeling. Don't even know my own name anymore.
So, yeah, let's do this. So, Ruby, give me 1 yellow, 2 green, versus 1 red and 1 purple.
Mm-hmm.
And for the charge, I'll also give you a blue.
Oh. I roll my blue.
Just add up another blue. Roll an extra blue.
blue.
See, so it's an advantage.
Yeah, sure. Okay. That advantage will be good because that will feed the next person who does the attack. So yeah, you slam in for 7 points of damage on this guy, and you come out from behind what looks like a civil engineering van. It's got like a flatbed, and you come up, you swing the hook onto him Oh, I forgot. It's Pierce 1 as well.
Yeah.
You slam this hook into him, and blood starts to gush out of his body. You hook him like right in the chest, and you seem to have hit a good blood vessel as well. So Gwen, you also are attacking at the same time,
Yes.
and I would like you to roll me a 1 yellow, 1 green, 2 blue, and then 1 red, 1 purple.
Okay.
Oh, despair.
Ooh.
So you miss, and related to this, the worst thing that can happen. Worst thing that can happen is for you to fall on the floor. And I would like you to do me a coordination check, diff 4. So that's 2 green and 4 purple.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Take a strain and 4 points of damage as you fall onto your cleaver. It doesn't do like a full amount of damage to you, but it has cut open your leg. Okay.
Stroke your beard.
He goes, fuck, she's got me. And the other guy comes running in. As he comes in, both Erwin and Holly charge him.
Yeah.
So both of you are going dagger on this.
No, liquid.
Oh, you're going to go. Oh, yeah, you're going to go and
Mr.
inject
Liquid.
him. Sure.
It's a medical check.
Ooh, yeah, so your medical check, I would like you to do a... so that would be 1 yellow, 2 green.
2 green.
1 red, 1 purple.
Blue for ambush.
No, because your second wave ambush, he knew there was an attack coming.
Okay.
Oh my god.
4 advantages and 1 despair.
Well, I need to find out what was in the syringe first, because I know what I'm spending the despair on. Okay. He, as you go up to him, you don't get any problems with fear on this. In fact, what you end up doing is that when you try to inject him, you put a hand on his shoulder and you're actually steadying him for storms coming up, to the point where you have pulled his back around, so his back is to Scorm. And what we're going to do is we're going to blow all 4 of those advantages for next actor gets a blue. So Scorm's going to get 4 blue when he makes his attack.
Okay.
However, as you go to inject him, you're only a little thing. He grabs hold of your hand, twists it painfully around and goes, I remember you the first time round, and slams the needle into your torso and pushes the needle down, and he's grinning, foul breath in your face as he pushes it into your body. I would like you to make me a... Oh, no, I don't have to tell you, do I? 2 green versus 1 red and 3 purple.
Oh god. Well, good fucking luck to me. Only 1 failure and 2 threats. Only.
Okay. You take a strain.
That's fine.
And you are starting to feel very, very giddy. You're like, yeah, this is... I'm either dying or I'm sleepy. This is... Just... Yeah, knock you out. You're losing consciousness. You're not particularly damaged. You're just losing consciousness.
Well, I'm still conscious so far.
Yep. Scorm, you're coming in and you are lined up. This guy's back is ripe for stabbing. So let's see what we can get out of this. Give me a... Oh, Jesus. I forgot about this character. You are, as I say, thin but beautiful. So give me a 1... Go on. I'm going to give you 1 yellow. Versus... 1 yellow and 4 blue. versus 2 purple.
Please don't fail me now, stabbing hand.
Yes!
Still my only good hand.
Okay. Unfortunately, all your successes, all of your advantages have petered out. So that's 5 points of damage on lefty. Lefty and righty. You stabbed him. You feel like, a stab in the back when somebody's holding him should be better than this. I've already used lefty's kind of action using the...
he's already done his action.
He's already done his action because I used it on the threat and I empowered it so that it automatically succeeded. So I'm just going to do righty. Righty is going to try to do a haymaker on... Ruby needed to take a strain from the last thing she did. That brings you to 9, I believe.
It does indeed.
You collapse on the floor in tears. All the fight taken out of you. So
I think you're just knocked out straight out. It's not like
when you get to your strain threshold, basically you're taken out in some fashion. Either you can go mad, or you can pass out, or you can start crying, have a mental breakdown.
Quick question: when I nibbled that chocolate earlier, did it do anything for my strain?
No, because we rolled and all you got was a failure. And I said it kind of felt good, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Not even
that was
when
for
I
the drink,
hugged her?
not for the
That was
chocolate.
for the drink. The chocolate didn't do anything for either.
Oh, okay.
When I hugged her?
When you hugged her, you got her operational again.
Yeah, you didn't do
Did
anything.
not for strain. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So at this point, you can snap her out of it when the fight finishes by just doing a leadership check, and that basically brings it can only take away like the penultimate one in situations like this, so it gets her functional again. He sees her falling to the floor, and is just going to turn around to Gwen, and he's going to try to haymaker you. So this is he hasn't got anything on him. He's just
Try and punch.
yeah.
Punches don't do much, thankfully.
Oh, what?
Pretty good.
Jesus.
Pretty good. So that's so Gwen, take 4 wounds.
You have a soak of 2.
Does it also count towards the previous 4?
So you took 4 wounds last time. Take 2 wounds now, so that's 4 wounds minus your soak, which is 2.
So 6.
Yep. He's gonna go straight in for the crit. You have
Has 2 disadvantages though.
I've already applied that to him. So you had a crit already, so this is going to be at plus 10.
What do you mean apply that? That's something you do something with the disadvantages.
Yep. So the disadvantages, I just converted it into he loses a hit point.
Okay.
I've got to keep it fast because we're over time.
Oh my god!
Oh. Increase all difficulty of all checks. So okay, the attacks against this guy are going to be diff 3 instead of diff 2 now.
Well, which limb is crippled, Simon?
One of his arms. I'm going to do one of Hermit's arms. So now when you attack, the diff is gone up. Okay, and so that's lefty and righty done. Let's go back to Gwen. You can still use the cleaver because it doesn't say you can't use that arm. It's not as if he's hacked your arm off with a punch. He's basically just punched you dead in the arm. You can see that it's a 2-handed weapon that you've got here. He's punched you dead in the arm so that you can't use it, and he's drawing back to give you one in the face now. So do an same attack as before. So let's see what your attack was.
It's been cleared.
One yellow, 1 green, 3 purple. And I will say that you can aim at this point, so add a blue as well. Take a strain, and the next attack against him gains a black.
Attack again, okay.
Oh no,
No.
you can't attack again. That was
No.
your attack. Yeah, you bring the
Yeah.
cleaver forward. It wrenches your arm. You're like, ah! And so the pain is starting to break through, and it's starting to wear down your resolve to the point where you're almost ready to give up. Which, considering you're right at the exit, Corinne, at the beginning of yours, I want you to do me a where is it? 2 green, 4 purple.
Why do you make me do these ones? Okay.
Another 2 strain, please.
Okay, I'm just taking strain at this point. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Thankfully, you're the one who can take the most strain. So if anybody's going to be hit with a tranquilizer, it's you.
Yeah.
Yep. But you can attack. If you wanted to pull out the knife, you can attack him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straight
think-
2 green, 2 purple.
Yeah, straight 2 green, 2 purple. I aim.
Yep.
There we go.
Oof. Nice. So that's a total of 6. So that would be a total of that. Yeah, it's a good hit this time. And
Does my knife has pierced, by the way, or not?
no, this knife doesn't. It's a kitchen knife. It says butcher's knife. But yeah, you sink the blade into him. You're pretty sure that if you can hold the blade in him, and Scum can do the same thing, Lefty's fucked. So Scum, do let's see, it'll be the
The yellow.
Yeah,
Give me yellow.
do 1 yellow versus 2 purple.
Stab with my stabby hand.
Oh.
Yep. The stab is good. It's not good enough. It's not quite there. He's there, bloodied up as he's kind of fending off from you. And
Well, if he's really hurt, he might just run away.
he can see that two of you have got knives. This was the one who did want to just leave.
Yeah.
I will do a roll. Best thing to do. And I will go with the higher of your 2 coercions, which is, I think, just coercion 2. Yeah, oh, no, actually. Scorm has coercion 3.
Oh.
So the diff for him will be 3, and his discipline is the lesser of the 2.
Oh, fail. With disadvantages.
Disadvantages. I'm just going to say that he books it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair. He books it. The other guy is severely hurt, but he is winning, and nothing gets the adrenaline going like winning. This guy was the one who didn't want to run as well. This is the one that was telling the other one off for wanting to run. So he's going to try to hit Gwen. But this time he picks up a lead pipe.
Lovely.
Well, not lead pipe, but something big and heavy to hit you. And so he's using improvised weapon. And let's see how it goes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow.
God.
That's 9.
Well, luckily for you, you
Pulled out
can't
his
die
beating stick.
outright without a crit.
9 points of damage, reduced by 2, so that's 7.
Yeah, you're not dead, by the way.
No, but we did go over the wound threshold, so the next thing against you will be a crit.
Next
at
attack.
plus
Most
20.
importantly.
Yeah.
Most importantly, next attack.
So you are down, by the way. So
Yeah.
you can't do anything now. Any hit against you is going to be a crit.
I thought that when you have your wound threshold at top, you don't go down, you keep going, just attacks against you and now crits.
Actually, yes, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm confusing this
strain
with
that gets you
another.
down.
There's another version. Yeah, there's another version of the combat you can use, but it isn't this one. Gwen, you can try another attack. It would be what it was before, which is you've cleared it. So let me have a look. It's 1 yellow, 1 green, 3 purple, and if you aim, which I assume you're going to, add a blue.
Can I attack and scream for help?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm gonna fucking do because. So 1 yellow, 1 green, 3 purple.
1 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue,
One
3
blue.
purple.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, another hit. So with this one here, this is the cleaver.
Yes.
So you don't crit, but the next person who attacks gets an extra blue on top of any aiming that they do, because as you hit him, he reels back. 4 plus that, minus that.
And vicious 1.
It's vicious 1. That means if you crit, it's a worse crit.
Yeah.
It's for crit. Okay.
Okay. Ooh. Sure. This guy gets gashed up nasty. After the 2 ridiculous misses, Gwen manages to get him in a full torso strike. It opens up his t-shirt. It rattles across his ribs. Blood starts spilling out. Hasn't kind of disemboweled him or anything like that, but he's like, oh, and he does look like he's about to run. But the people who can get into engage with him now is Erwin and Holly. Are you going to let him run, or are you going to murderize him?
I am happy letting him run. I'm not particularly murder happy. I'm happy to let him run.
My character will do one thing just to try to scare him off, to not do something dangerous, to pull out the bottle of bleach and just throw it, just pour the bottle of bleach on him as I try to get in front of him.
That's going to hurt.
Exactly, when you got open wounds, just bleach over it.
For flavour, I'm just going to say this is a coercion roll instead, because what you want to do is freak him the fuck out. So give me 3 green versus 1 red and 1 purple.
Any extra for the bleach? Any blues for the bleach?
You know what? It's a pretty intimidating tool. I will give you a blue.
Bleach in your face.
Okay. With the advantage, you look like a fucking hero. It doesn't scare him any more than he already is scared. It hurts like hell.
But he's already scared.
But he's already scared. What you haven't done is kind of completely defeated him. He's making a tactical retreat. He's not like terrified of you. And he leaves.
Keys. Sorry.
Keys, yes. Keys.
The
I
keys.
checked out
Each of the keys are in the car. They're on the driver's seat, and in each one, like they just.
We could have just gone for the car.
And
I was thinking that.
Now that you've got a moment, Ruby's having a panic attack, but because time's getting on, you just leadership roll until she stops having a panic attack. You do notice that each of the cars here, each of you recognize a car.
Oh. I go to my car. Check what's in
Ruby recognizes a Maestro van. Gwendolyn recognizes a Ford Mondeo. Erwin has
I don't know breeds of cars.
Erwin recognizes a Jag. And Holly recognizes a Peugeot 205.
I've got to pretend I know what that is.
I'm just going to go, my van.
That's like,
my car.
Ruby, you cannot drive right now. Get in the back.
No, drive. You drive. Is there anything in my van?
A fuck ton of tools. Lots of tools.
It's like, I'm willing to drive Ruby. Well, I can't drive actually. I got one arm.
But to get in my get in my car.
You could drive Erwin. You could drive your car with one arm because it's an automatic.
Automatics for the win.
I was just like, we need to get somewhere like a police station and tell them here because they're going to destroy this place. People are going to be back in like 10 minutes. They said, quickly.
Yeah. I check in my car. Is my phone there?
Yes, all of your personal effects, your ID, and yes.
I immediately call 999.
Dr. Holly Evans.
Yes. Immediately call 999.
Yeah. Dr. Holly Evans of Chelsea and Hammersmith Hospital, London. You're there like, how come I still don't fucking remember this? You can see that you've got your your ID and all the rest of it. There's a doctor's badge in the fucking window and all the rest of it. Just kind of like, well, that makes sense. How come I don't remember any of this shit?
Yeah.
And
I
anyone else
turn on
got
my
a phone call?
phone, I check on Google Maps where I am, and I call 999.
Yep, you know where you are. All of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just getting everyone else, Gwen and stuff, in the car because, well, they can't barely move.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gwen
which
hurt
car?
themselves. Yeah.
Which car are you taking?
We're taking the doctor's car.
Okay.
The doctor's, yeah.
The doctor's car. Okay, I was about to say you're going to leave your Jag behind. Wow. So yeah.
We'll come back for it.
Technically, it is quicker. I'm just going to point that out now.
Yeah, Jaguar is not built for 4.
No, it's built for 2.
Fair. So yeah, you get everybody inside. So there's a Peugeot 205, the car of heroes, you barrel everybody in, and
we'll get my personal effects first.
you get your yes, PC Gwendolyn Weiss of the Metropolitan Police Force collects her stuff and is kind of like, hang on a sec, opens up your boot, pulls out a fucking nightstick and goes, you've got handcuffs and a bunch of other things. The figure in the lab coat's dead. The 2 pig men are dead. The other 2 are running, and you're just kind of like, no, fuck it. I just need to go and get to the others. You check to see if your radio's in there, and you're like, no, okay. You
come to my car where I'm on the phone to the 999 operator. Sounding insane.
I'm not going to roleplay it through, but standard 999 call, and and you know that there's a village nearby that you can get to, but it is quite a small village. But presumably there's going to be some kind of thing there. You tell them that you'll meet them there in the public. You want to get into public, and so you start the car up. Ruby, are you getting anything from yours?
No, I'm just getting straight in the car.
Straight in the car.
Too dumb.
So Erwin, are you getting anything from your car?
No, I'm going to be backseat driving. Well, not backseat driving, backseat calling as she's on the phone to the police. Like, they're going to destroy this place as soon as they get back. They're going to set fire to it. They already explained that.
So you got your phone from your car.
No, I'm just leaving. I'm just leaving all my stuff. I'm going with the doctor. I'm just shouting.
Oh, you're just shouting over the phone. Okay,
I'm in the back.
Okay, and getting into your knightly steed, the Peugeot 205, light blue. You drive out of the shed. You can see that running across one of the fields is the guy that's been slashed across the chest by Gwen. And you drive down this otherwise serene country lane. It's at that point, I'm going to say that Ruby and Erwin are in the back, because Erwin said he was backseat calling. And so I'm going to say Gwen's in the front with Dr. Evans. And as you sit down, you notice you've sat down on some paperwork. You pull it out from under your arse as you put your seatbelt on, and Holly's trying not to speed down this country lane, because the last thing you want is a car crash right now.
Yeah.
You open the paperwork just out of instinct. Inside is a portfolio on Dr. Holly Evans. Her movements, where she works, not just pictures of her, but pictures of her co-workers, people she goes drinking with, picture of her pet dog, and her walking her dog. There is also information on next of kin that you can see they photocopied for the hospital personnel records. And the part that really disturbs you is at the back. It says tactic. It says Dr. Holly Evans, suitable specimen, reasonable detachment from friends and family, would not be missed, has been known to not speak to friends and family for long periods of time due to work pressures, has been specifically requested by client. In case of escape, threaten harm to the following family members.
Oh, shit.
Methods of contacting Dr. Holly Evans are, and it has her various emails, social media accounts, and mobile phone number as well. And you drive to this village of Towthorne, and as you get there, you are in front of a village pub, and you can see there's some people inside. It's usual, 2 men and a dog drinking. You see a lady walking past, pushing a double buggy. Somebody just pulls up in their car, gets out, locks up the car, gets something out of the boot, goes into their house, just oddly back to normality after what just happened to you over the last half an hour. And
I'm still with the 999 operator, by the way. I have not let go of that call.
Yeah, the 999 operator says, that's fine, we'll stay on the phone to you. We'll stay on the phone to you, miss. And once the police are there, you'll be able to get all of this.
I have requested both an ambulance and a police.
As you're there speaking to them on the phone, are they on speaker or you've got it up to your ear?
I currently have it up to my ear. Yeah.
Okay. It vibrates. You've got a message.
Yeah, I'm not going to check that right now.
And I'll wrap up with this. As the police turn up, the ambulance turn up, a bunch of people craning over to look to look at the scene as it's unfolding. The police immediately come up. Gwen, memories are starting to come back. You start slipping into procedure, reporting what you can. They're saying, look, you're affected, but obviously you can't be part of this, but we're going to get a squad in. Don't worry about it. You have been missing. You've been missing for 2 days, but we got a message that you were undercover and that you were okay, and we're not sure what went on, but we're going to find out who contacted us. We'll get to the bottom of this. Okay, we'll get to the bottom of this. Eventually, Holly will read the message, and the message will say, calling the police, silly girl. Do you honestly think we don't have contacts in there? How do you think we got you in the first place? We know who you are. We know who you care for. And sooner or later, by our command, you'll walk back into our facilities. Enjoy the freedom that you have for now.
Delete the message.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't delete it. I show it to the police and be like...
the police are there kind of... They don't swear or exclaim. They go, that's evidence, miss. We're going to need to collect that at some point. So at some point, we're going to need to get an image for that. If you bring it to the station with you, we'll be able to download everything that we need. And yeah, the image says sooner or later you'll find that you'll have no choice but to come back to us. And oddly, as a guy walks past, country gentleman, with all this going on, he does give you a thin, wan smile. Mirthless. Seems well groomed. Kind of gentleman, country gentleman. Gives you a smile, a little wave, and walks off. And we're going to leave it there. Congratulations, you've escaped from the farm. For now.
We escaped from the farm. I'm a broken person.
But it's fine.
I sort of did want to die rather than be alive in this nightmare.
References for this. Soylent Green obviously was one of the references. There's a couple of others,
I know you haven't read this, but it gave me big time Promised Neverland vibes. Especially
never heard of it.
No.
But the big one that I wanted to reflect it from was a fantastic book by Michael Fabian called Under the Skin. There's a film, but the film's not as good as the book. The film with Scarlett Johansson, because most of the book you're getting the thoughts of the person who's picking up hitchhikers to take them to a facility just like this. And her name's Isserley, and she's actually an alien, which is why the pigmen at the beginning, they were just basically conditioned gimp humans. And yeah, there's a few bits and pieces that I picked up from the series Lex, which is where the lamprey ports came from. But in Under the Skin, it's about an alien who captures hitchhikers who aren't going to be missed to take them to a farm to be processed, because on her planet, human meat is a delicacy, like a Burko ham. The other side of this, the harvesting of the organs, was from Never Let Me Go, and the one book that genuinely has caused me nightmares, and it's called Unraveled, and it's a young adult book. Fucking hell, it is a young adult book, and I will find a YouTube link if you want to never sleep ever again. Basically, it's a dystopian future where before the age of 18, you can be given by your parents to the state to be unraveled. You're not killed because every part of your body is used. You're recycled. And because every part of you gets transplanted into somebody else, you're not technically dead. You're just dispersed amongst the population. Right? And there's a scene in it where, because it's a fucked up society, and some kids actually volunteer for this because they've drunk the Gatorade, and they go, oh yes, my church tells me that this is the best sacrifice that somebody can do, and I'm going to live on in other people. They go for unraveling, and a bunch of actors did that scene where somebody is being unraveled whilst still awake, and all it is, it's just from the point of view of somebody looking up in an operating theatre, and you've just got this masked woman coming into view every now and again and talking to this girl as she's being unraveled. And oh my fucking god, I didn't sleep for days after watching it. The body horror was insane. So that was floor 3, was the unravel floor, and I think it's Never Let Me Go, where it's a similar thing where people are living on a farm, but they're actually living a la island, because they are living donors.
Yeah.
Because they're clones, I think the rationale in Never Let Me Go is because they're clones, they don't have souls, therefore you can do what you want with them. And yeah, so all kinds of fucked up. So I drew on all of those. But if you haven't read Under the Skin, that one is it's got a dark humour to it, but it isn't super horror. It covers things like sexuality, class divide, all of that kind of thing, because it's more an alien looking at the humans that they see as cattle, and then recognizing humans for what they are and comparing them to her alien race. And so yeah, that one's definitely worth a read, and you will sleep at night if you're reading that. And it's a typical Michael Fabia thing of, he's got a fantastic subtle narrative, but then right at the end is slightly anticlimactic, but has a beautiful irony to it. So yeah, it's very well written. Under the Skin, go for that. Anyway, we've gone over by 3/4 of an hour. I do apologize. I kept you going and deliberately didn't do a break to see if I could keep you on tenterhooks. Did it have the right effect?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I have to pace out my drink. No.
Yeah, so sorry we've done more than usual, but thank you everybody for watching, and I promise next time it will be a slightly better pace. But I didn't want to rush the ending. I wanted you to have the teetering on the edge, and we did get one person catatonic with horror, one person close to being killed, and one person who was passing out because she got the happy juice. By the way,
No, you shouldn't have been driving, really.
by the way, Corinne, D2. If this had come up as an odd number, you would have had the euthanasia drug.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Yeah, and
very lucky.
emptied a double dose of the euthanasia drug into your body. As it turns out, you were okay against the happy drug. The happy drug, which was basically just made you lovely and compliant, which is what all of the people on the force feeding level were on, which is why they looked at you myopically. So that's about as bad as my imagination can get.
Good to know.
We have now done horror. We have now done horror. We've done Ghostbusters. We've done zombie babies. We have done. Thank you, Helen. We have done horror in space. We've done our own Event Horizon. And now we have finally done a game that I don't like running all that too often. I prefer ghost stories. So, big thanks to everybody. We're not going to raid because it's too late. Take care of yourself out there and have a fantastic Halloween weekend. Good night, everyone.
Would be nice.
Nice.
Night.